run a little bit, and this has done that, unfortunately. But we're here now, and we can get our teeth into NXT. I also want to say apologies that we didn't get a chance to do an unseen video. I did the Nightbird video, and then I wanted to do a review, so I did a review for the second channel, and then I wanted to make sure I went through all of the notifications so that I could get as complete a picture as possible. And I knew it was going to take a little bit longer, but I had no idea how long it was going to take, and it took forever. By the time I was ready to record, it was like lunchtime the next day. I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours going through my notifications, going through Twitter, trying to get up to speed with, you know, where we was with everything. And it just meant that at the end, I did try to do a video, but I got 20 minutes in, and then my computer told me the memory was full, and it just stopped recording. And I was like, this is a sign now. This is a sign. So I ended up just going to bed at that point, cutting my losses, and I went to bed. So I got up, did the opinions video, just done the wrestling escape pods. Now we're here for this. It's one of those where it's gone by. But all the stuff that we were going to talk about yesterday's would have been about half an hour long, I think. All the stuff we would have spoke about yesterday will just get moved into today's. So my plan is do NXT. Then I'm going to do catch up on bits that I need to catch up with. Shouldn't take me as long. Unseen will be out tonight, so we'll get that out tonight. But we did get a big Nightbird video onto the channel, which hopefully people enjoyed, and I think there was some really good stuff in there, actually. Really good stuff. I was a bit frustrated at the fact that there was one thing which we didn't talk about, which we should have spoke about, and it is that Cinnamon was in the source code. That was the one thing that we didn't talk about. And I thought I'd saved a few tweets about it, but I must have botched it. And so that's the only thing, really. But I do like the theory that that is connected with Nina Simone. But we can touch on that more during Unseen tonight. Today, there's not been many more developments, to be honest. Very similar to what we normally find. The QR code gets ripped apart in a few hours, and then the next day it's quite quiet as people really dig into it to try and find anything that's been missed. I think the theories that are coming out now are the theories where people are really quite deep, and it's hard to know as to whether the findings are things that were meant to be finding, you know? It's kind of like, well, if you take this number and you divide it by this and you do this, then you get this. And it's kind of like, I don't know that we need to be going that deep, personally. So I think all the big, obvious surface level stuff has been found. The kind of stuff I'm being tagged in now is the more deeper stuff, which is very questionable as to whether it's even a thing or not. So it's one of those, you know, we'll have a little look, we'll round up everything, and we'll have a little look through it, and the stuff that really kind of grabs the attention, the stuff that I think is really worth talking about, we'll chuck it in unseen. Right, with that being said, we now need to turn our attention then over to WWE, and we do have a quick preview tonight for NXT. So let's go down that, and then we'll jump into the chat. So here we've got Tony D'Angelo taking on Charlie Dempsey for the NXT Heritage Cup. We got Sol Ruca taking on Izzy Dame as they battle in the North American title qualifying, right? We've also got Ivy Nile taking on Lash Legend as they battle in the North American title qualifying. We've got Javon Evans, the young OG. He's going to be taking on Noam Dar. And then we've also got Enofé and Blades taking on OTM. So Enofé and Blade are in action. They're taking on OTM. We've got Javon Evans taking on Noam Dar, Ivy Nile against Lash Legend, Sol Ruca against Izzy Dame, Tony D'Angelo against Charlie Dempsey. So those are the matches that we've got coming up. Really looking forward to getting our teeth into that, but I want to get my teeth into the chat as well and see what the conversation is, what people are saying. David said, I hope you're well. My son is getting into you because of the Nightbird's work and the toy hunts. David, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, we will get another toy hunt on the channel, potentially Sunday is what I'm looking at. Toy hunts have always been a massive part of the channel, and I think those older toy hunts have took on a bit of a different meaning now. When I originally did them, people were interested in seeing what was in the stores at that time, what new figures were out. Obviously, now they've kind of turned into a time capsule, whereby you can go back 6 years and see what the shops were like 6 years ago. So it's kind of changed its meaning a little bit. I think they're still obviously interesting, but people are very focused on what's coming out now and, you know, the latest things. So I do need to try and get like a more recent sort of figure video up, if you will. But we've got some really great old school toy shops to still get footage up from. So I'm looking at Sunday for that. But yeah, Nightbirds, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think that'll be around past King and Queen of the Ring. White Rabbit finished after Bray debuted. So obviously there'll still be conversation. Where do you think this is going? What do you think they mean by this? But it won't quite be the same as what we're seeing with the QR codes. But yeah, so I think we've got about 10 days to go, 11 days to go, and then I think it might be done. But obviously once this group arrives, that'll just start a whole new load of conversation, but maybe one that balances better with watching the shows, because one of the criticisms that I see a lot of from the community is, I love the QR codes, or I don't love the QR codes. I just wish that they didn't distract so much as what they do on the streams, and I understand it. I really, really do. I totally get it, and I think this is why I try to kind of not get so involved. I mean, obviously I'm looking and I'm doing stuff, but it's not like I'm sat here silently trying to work it out myself, you know? We're kind of like, right, let's go over here. I think you've got to be quite flexible and bouncy when you're looking at all these different things. So yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. I hope people have enjoyed it. If there have been any frustrations, hopefully they've been minimal. And as we said, it'll soon be done and we'll be on our way to something different. So shout out to your son. Tell him I say thank you and hello. All right. All right. Right, all the QR code stuff has put a kibosh on the perv folder, says Al. I think the perv folder, people have got a bit confused as to what that was for. Like, it was never a case of let's just find pervy pictures and put them in the folder. They always needed to have something extra to them, in the sense of, I remember like Dakota being in a bikini, but I showed the clip because the dog jumped in the pool and she got splashed as a result, and that was funny. The dog jumping in and like her getting basically splashed by the dog. It always needed that little extra or something of interest about it. So yeah, the perv folder is not a folder that I think you'll see all that often. We could fill that thing with just pervy images. There's no problems doing that whatsoever. There's plenty of them around. But it always needs to have that little bit extra. I do now get people going, put this in the perv folder, and it is just a picture of a wrestler in their underwear or something, and I'm like, this isn't quite what I was looking for. This isn't why it exists. I don't think we've quite understood what we're trying to do with the perv folder here. It's not a collection of our favorite pictures. Stop closing the door, says Al. Well, we will be live on Thursday, so I'll be here Thursday at 8 o'clock UK time, 3 o'clock Eastern time, hour before the time is meant to be, right? We'll be here an hour before, and I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know if that link is going to work. I know that the whole wrestling world is going to be looking and waiting, and I know a hell of a lot of people are going to be clicking that link that says door, which currently doesn't do anything, but we think it will. We think it's going to take us to where we need to go. So that's the current theory. I hope that it works. If not, there'll be a lot of people running around on Twitter going, does anyone know where we need to be? All this kind of stuff. I can see all that confusion happening. But yeah, so that everyone knows, the QR code this week teased something on Thursday at 4 p.m, seemingly on Twitch. But obviously we don't know where to go on Twitch. So there was a door, big letters at the top that said door, link, and when you press, nothing happens. Well, does something happen on Thursday? So we'll find out together. I'll be here doing a live stream for it. Corbin says, is there going to be more QR codes tonight? I don't think so, buds. I don't think so. They did one on NXT, and that was the go home for Backlash. So I don't think that there wasn't one last week. Maybe, is it next week? Maybe next week on the go home for King and Queen of the Ring? There may be. But I think this week they've already told us Thursday. So I think Thursday is the focus. I don't think tonight's the focus. So I'm not expecting one tonight personally. But I don't know. We still have to wait and see. They could always pop one in and surprise us, of course. You can't totally rule it out. But I'm leaning towards no. I'm thinking it's Thursday next. Then, of course, I'm guessing Friday. Then I'm guessing Monday. Then I'm guessing NXT next week, because it'll be the go home. And then Friday. And then I think Saturday they arrive. So we've still got a few to go, in all fairness. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've still got about 5 to go. So still plenty for us to get our teeth into. Chris said, I love watching the latest Toy Hunt episode. Oh, that's good. I'm really pleased. Just outside of wrestling, okay, what is your opinion on Big John Fury? Let's go. Big John, I think it puts a bad word on boxing, especially this is for Undisputeds. I understand that perspective. I don't know if I agree with it, because I think Big John is, what you see is what you get. With Big John, you're going to get someone that's going to... He brings part of the show, you know? I kind of feel like these two sitting down and just being, like, nice to each other, you can do that, you know? It's about the belt and the prestige and all of that kind of stuff. But we know that boxing, going all the way back to Muhammad Ali, even before that, but, you know, that trash talking, that little bit of showmanship, like that kind of grabbing attention, it gets people talking about it more, and it gets attention more. You can argue it's the wrong kind of attention, but I think Big John gets attention, and I think that he is someone that is... He's not doing anything that's like cringe in the sense of like what an influencer would do. If you've ever watched, what's it called? Thingy, Misfits. If you've ever watched Misfits boxing, some of the stuff they do on there is like atrocious. Right? It's atrocious. Some of the stuff they do to get attention on that kind of influencer boxing, it's just really cringe. And, you know, they're like trying to throw insults at each other and it all just kind of falls flat. Or they'll try and like do something like they'll, I don't know, try and slap each other with a fish or something like this. I mean, it's bottom of the barrel stuff which you really cringe at. Even the people watching cringe at it, but that's in a way part of why they do it, because they know that it's going to be spoken about. Like, did you see such and such slapped such and such with a fish? And they know people, it'll trend, it'll get attention, and that's the whole point, right? But that, to me, is cringe. Big John, like, Fury shouting out the Fury name, whilst a load of people shout out the Usyk name, and he's, like, getting in their heads. Like, he's not doing anything that's cringe. He's just getting fired up. Like, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know, as he said in the interview after, I'm a warrior, I'll never back down. He's got this real thing in him, which really is like, some people say that they'll fight to the death, right? And you go, yeah, okay, sure. With John Fury, he will. I don't doubt he would. I don't doubt that if he was in a fight, he would keep going. If, like, you know, when he's like talking about fighting for the Fury name, the good of the family, I believe him. He's a madman. He is a madman. He will get in there. He'll get in people's heads. He'll get himself cut open, whatever. I mean, did you see Tyson when Tyson saw him? Tyson came walking in and he was like, yeah. He was like, what happened to you? What happened to you? Like this? And, he like, and he started laughing like, what you've been doing now? That's how they roll. It's like it's just a circus, man. It's just a circus of just this intensity and this kind of just entertainment. I mean, two champions sitting down with the belt talking about the prestige of the... You're not going to get that with a Fury show, and you ain't going to get that with John Fury. I mean, they'll talk about what it means and everything, but it takes next to nothing to kind of set him off. He's like a flipping firecracker, isn't he? So I was not surprised to see that there had been some drama involving John. Let's put it that way. But I think there's a lot of goodwill towards John, actually, because I think there's a lot of men and a lot of guys that kind of look at him and go, yeah, respect. You know, he'd die for his family kind of mentality. And there's a lot of that I think guys can look at and respect, actually. So I understand the argument that does he distract too much and all this kind of stuff, but I actually think that he actually provides something which you could argue is like missing from like boxing, and that's like this kind of showmanship, this intensity, the kind of build. You know, this is why people love Conor. Look at Conor. Look how popular Conor McGregor was. Granted, he could do it in a cage, but it ain't his cage work that was getting at that. It was the trash talking. It was his personality. It was his charisma. That's why people fell in love with Conor. The fact he could back it up was a bonus. But there's been better fighters than Conor that have not had anywhere near the success of Conor. But it's because of how he carries himself and the way that he acts and some of the funny put downs that he's got, you know. So I get it. I understand that it's not for everyone. I just think it's John being John. That's my honest answer. I think it's John being John. I think that's who he is. And I think if he's going to be there, you kind of know that you're going to get that kind of moment. So big John Fury. One thing we know about him, he loves Saudi Arabia. That's the only thing we know. Carl and Dawn said Erick Rowan was seen at the Performance Center. Well, good. I mean, not a great surprise because we know that he's been signed. We know that... we know that he's been signed. We know that he is someone that's going to be in this group. I'd imagine that he is, you know, going there to put in the work, get some guidance and instructions and, you know, kind of get rid of that ring rust. So, good. Let's go down. JP Vilt said, new Wyatt 6 prediction, JTG, Bob Backlund, Curryman, Santina Morella, Giant Gonzalez, and the Boogeyman. Let's go. Dream Faction. Derek said, the last thing you want to do if you're going to push Jey Uso as a main event is put him in a feud with a faction. If they do, it's a clear message he's a mid-carder and it'll be over. I don't think he's going to be a target. I don't understand why you would make him a target. I think that until the Firefly thing happened, which wasn't his choice, that was France that did that just on their own back. Until that happened, he was not on anyone's radar. As soon as the Firefly thing happened, people started going, do you think he'll be a target now? And it's like, well, why? He didn't ask for it. The French fans just started doing it, so why now is he a target? And I would say the only interesting thing that's happened is that tweet. That tweet that he sent out the other day saying, forget it, they're mine now. That was the moment where I went, what? Huh? Why has he done that? But then did you see his comments after Raw? His comments after Raw was he couldn't be nicer. He was absolutely lovely. He walked back from those comments and he was like, no, you know, every time I see him, I think of him, the universe think of him. And he was talking about Bray in such a glowing light. He really did kind of have nothing but praise for Bray. He was lovely about Bray. So I think Jey, to me, is not a target for the Wyatt 6. I think you can make him a target, right? Because of the Firefly thing now. You can make him a target. But at this point, I've got to think they're not trying to figure out who they're going to be going after first. Like, at this point, I've got to think there's a roadmap, a rough outline as to what they're going to do. So something that's happened recently involving Jey might put him on the radar for some point down the road, right? But I don't think he's going to be like the first victim, or he's going to be anywhere close to that, because they've got to have an idea as to what they want to do now. I really don't think they're bringing these people in at King and Queen of the Ring and they just don't know what they're going to do with them. There must be creative ideas. It's got to be one of the most important jobs at the moment, is really planning and mapping out the next stages for this group. Those conversations must have already happened. So the Jey stuff, it's too late in the day for me. This is I don't know why you'd want to make a thing out of it. It's a big baby face. Why would we want to turn this new group heels? It doesn't make any sense either. You know, Jey's super over. People love him. Why are we having the Wyatt family come back and we're going to have them go after the biggest baby face? How does that make any sense? We'd have to turn him heel. The only thing I would say is when he sent that tweet out, which did come across as very heelish, that was the only point I was like, are we turning him? Are they turning him? Is he turning himself? I didn't get the tweet. The tweet is the only thing that I can look at and say, don't get it, don't understand, don't know why he's sent that. I don't know if he just didn't read the room right. I don't know if he got a bit defensive, you know. This is his moment, yet people are saying, is he right to steal the Firefly? Well, he didn't steal them. So as he looked at it and gone, I haven't stolen them. And he's got a bit defensive and he's kind of, you know, they're mine now. Yeeter of worlds, right? And he's gone, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And he's, you know, he's got frustrated with what he's seen. And that was his reaction. Is that what happened? Because he seemed to walk back from it. He was not given that same energy in the Raw interview after. When Raw ended, the Raw Talk interview, he didn't have that same energy. He was like, I miss him. I think that's my dog looking down on me. You know, we all love him. It was all of that. I didn't ask for them. You know, they were just bestowed upon me and all this kind of stuff. So very different energy coming from Jey last night. So I agree. I don't think he's a target. I don't think he's a victim or will be a victim anytime soon. I also think that they'll come in after the show. So I don't think they're going to interrupt Cody. I don't think they're going to interrupt Logan. I do think it's quite interesting that a few of the dates have pointed towards Dusty. I do think that's interesting because you do go, why? Why of those dates pointed to Dusty? And if you're going to talk about Dusty, you're going to think about Cody. So I do agree something there has got me thinking. But I'm still thinking the most likely thing is to do what we did with Bray at Extreme Rules, and that is bring him in after the match. So at Extreme Rules, it was Riddle against Seth. That finished. Riddle had his hand raised by Daniel Cormier, and then boom, lights went, didn't they? And then, you know, he got the whole world in his hands. And then boom, we went into Bray's return. So I'm thinking, do we do the same here where we finish Cody against Logan, we're celebrating or crying or whatever's happening, and then poof, lights go and oh my god, here we go, now it's time for the Wyatt Six to return. And then we can do the full presentation, you know, lights come on and you've got Nikki in the stands over there and you've got someone over here. Like the way that we want to present their return and the size of that presentation might not fit with an attack. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, are we going to do all this whilst Cody's just standing there watching and whatever? I don't know. I'm not sold on the attack. I'm not sold that they're coming after Logan or they're coming after Cody or anything like that. That's not what happened when Bray came back. And I'm thinking they're going to want to give them their own space to bring them back, present it the way that we want to present it, and we can worry about who they're going after just a little bit further down the road. Exactly like we did with Bray. His first victim was LA Knight, but that wasn't for weeks and weeks and weeks after he came back. You know, there's plenty of people going, okay, this is cool, but who's he facing? I don't think they'll wait that long, but I really am subscribing to the notion that it's not going to be immediately revealed who they're going after. But I can be wrong, of course, but I'm just basing it on Bray's return. Jason said, in America, we had the smiley face killer. He was a killer that left smiley faces at crimes. There's much speculation online. I wonder if they took inspiration, said Jason. They could have done, but I think I like the idea of it just being Gacy. I think Joe Gacy also used a lot of smiley faces when he was in NXT. And so I think that connection to Joe Gacy makes a lot of sense. I think that it feels to me like there are connections to different people. Like apparently the birthdays are in there and for Nikki and Dexter and whatever. And I think that there are little links to different people within the group. I think these QR codes... we've got to think about what would they be trying to communicate to us. What information do they want to try and get across to us, right? Rather than trying to figure out what the information actually is, it might be worth thinking about what would they want to communicate. And obviously they've been telling this story about being set free, and they've been really getting that message across about how they've all been forgotten and where was the empathy, and he set them free. So I think things along those lines and things along those themes, I could understand them wanting to communicate. There may be some things that fit in with that we haven't quite found. What I would say is if it's going to be more of that, I don't think it's urgent. I don't think it's too important if we don't find those things, right? But I look at things like that picture that's all messed up, you know, and people are trying to figure out what is it. And I think to myself, well, what would they want to communicate? And I think they would want to communicate who's in the group. I think they would, at this point, you know, we still haven't had the group debut. And we've got birthdays that are in the codes and things like that relate to Nikki Cross and whatever. I think that they would want to use these clues as ways to communicate who is in the group. So I look at these things and I'm looking at, right, how does this connect to Rowan, or how does this connect to Nikki Cross, or how does this connect to Dexter Lumis? And, you know, I'm looking at things kind of through that lens as well. Because I feel like that's the key information that they would want to be communicating at this time. So, in regards to the smiley faces, I feel like the connection to Gacy there is quite strong. He had smiley face. He had badges that had smiley faces on. You know, it was kind of a big part of his gimmick, and I feel like his signature in a way. And I think them being dotted around makes me think of him. Where then you can expand it out and go, well, there was also a psycho killer that used smiley faces. You go, that's cool. I really like that. And that definitely needs to be mentioned. And, you know, but I don't know that that's why they're there. I go back to my first kind of favorite theory, which is we're trying to tell people who's in the group. And Joe Gacy is one of those people. And I think the smiley face connects to that. But I love it that you can then expand it out. And you go, yeah, but there was also a killer that used smiley face, and you go, that's nice, that fits in, and it's cool. And, you know, some of these things can have more than one meaning, absolutely. It's hard to know exactly what the meaning is, of course. It's hard to know exactly what they're trying to achieve. But again, I think I come from a starting point of, I think they really want to get across the people in the group. That leak that came out was really unfortunate in retrospect, because if we didn't have that information, PW Insider saying, right, these are the people in the group, bang, 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 bang. If we didn't have that, then all these teasers would be a lot more exciting. You know, the information about Erick Rowan being at the Performance Center, that would be a lot more exciting. But to me now, yeah, I expect him to be at the Performance Center because I expect him to be unveiled in this group. Just like how the birthdays of Dexter Lumis and Nikki Cross are in this QR codes. That would be really exciting, but I think now we're at the point where it's actually expected, or, okay, yeah, makes sense. You know, that blurry picture could be a sheep's mask. I know I keep saying it, but that's what I see. I see an animal, right? And it could be a sheep's mask. And I think that that would be a tease for Erick Rowan, who we know is going to be in the group. So I keep looking at these things and thinking, how does it connect to where we're trying to get to? And I think there's still a few things that we haven't found yet, to be honest. But what I like about it is that everyone's interpreting it in different ways, and they're all finding lots of different things. And I think what ends up happening is you end up with this massive tapestry of thoughts and theories, which is kind of all based on the actual things that they've put in. It's just we never quite know what the actual things were meant to be. You know, it's a bit like this. It's a bit like these dreams slowly rising. You know, that headline at the bottom of the page. Well, we found the actual article of that. You know, at the bottom of the article of the missing woman, it says dreams slowly rising. We know the actual article that is connected to, that it's been found, and you can read it, and it's about these two women that start up a bakery, right? And about how it was their dream to do this, right? I really like it. I don't quite know how it connects, but you've got that article, and we found that article. But it's also been pointed out that there is a song that's got some very interesting lyrics that has that as a title. So you kind of go, well, did they want us to find the actual article? And if they did, what's the connection? Or did they just want to communicate those words? And this is how they chose to do it? Because they want us to find the song. So it's, you never quite know what's right and what's wrong. You never quite know what's, you know, the right direction that you should be going in. That's why everything just sort of gets looked at, and you have to do a bit of gut feeling. I think if you're really having to dig, I think if you're really having to go quite deep, you're having to, you know, times things and subtract things. And if I move this here and I think you've gone too far. I don't think that it should ever be that deep. I don't think they're hiding stuff that deep. I think that it should be a bit more surface than that. I think, that's why, like, I get tagged in some crazy stuff, man. Some stuff where people just go crazy into it. Nothing but respect for those people, but I don't know if the answers they find, I mean, if you dig enough, you'll find something, but I don't know if the answers that they're finding are answers that we were meant to find, you know? But it was that way for White Rabbit as well, you know? People really do want to be the ones that find the missing pieces, and I totally get that. I just think a lot of it is more surface level than people think. I don't think they're trying to, like, really go super, super deep, you know? But there are so much and so many things in this that it is, you know, it's very time-consuming, very consuming in many different ways, you know? And there's so much to it, so many little numbers and potential numbers, and, yeah, loads. The smiley faces are clearly green shirt guys, said James. There we go. Finally, someone with some sense. It's green shirt guy. He's actually the leader. He's going to be revealed as the darker power, the higher power. Green shirt guy. It's actually him and Trinidad flag guy. Imagine that group. Imagine that tag team. They'd be the greatest tag team of all time. Chuck in the guy that looks like Jesus. You've got the New Day. You've got the New Day. Do you think that Uncle Meowdy will have a different look? Uncle Meowdy, says Doug. I think it will have evolved. Yeah, I think, as I said at the time, it evolved when he was here before. I think, and I still don't understand. I think, like, when Bray returned, he was wearing the Uncle Howdy mask. When he walked through the door, he had the Uncle Howdy mask on. And then he seemed to turn his back on Uncle Howdy immediately after the return. So obviously the question is, why did he do that? Why did he return wearing the Uncle Howdy mask? Was it literally, and I'm sorry to say that this happens, was it literally because during rehearsals they said it would look cool if you have a mask to remove? Is it that you just coming through the door is kind of cool, but you coming through the door and then us getting another... Like, we do the puppets, it's not Bray. We go to the funhouse, there's no Bray. We cut to the door opens, someone walks through, we still don't 100% know it's Bray. Then the mask is removed. You know, you're kind of delaying. I wonder if him wearing that mask had no reason whatsoever. I wonder if the reason was to delay the reveal. This is going to look a lot better when you take that mask off than if you just came through the door with the lantern. And it's a shame to say that that kind of stuff happens. You know, it's like Mae Young gave birth to a hand in the Attitude Era. And why was it a hand? Because Vince thought it was funny. That's it. Why was it a hand? Because Vince thought it was funny. You know, they didn't know who to be the anonymous GM, and they just decided, let's make it Hornswoggle. We'll make it Hornswoggle. You know, unfortunately, there are things like this that happen not for very satisfying reasons. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because that was something that we spoke about and we theorized over. Why would Bray wear that mask? Kind of showing a connection to Howdy. And then they're kind of, you know, at odds, immediately at odds. And I was waiting for that answer, and obviously we never got that answer. Maybe there would have been an answer. But part of me does wonder, was it just to make the reveal a bigger deal, you know? And I think that with Howdy, he used to have that mask in those vignettes, didn't he? That kind of full face mask. And then it changed. It changed to a different mask. And he then like had a different mask. And that was never explained. That was never addressed. Part of me wonders, is it because of the look? Did they look at the original mask and go, that looks a bit cheesy? Doesn't look very good. It's not the kind of vibe that we're going for. We actually thought in execution it would look better. Let's cut this here because his mouth being exposed is better for him to talk. Perhaps what they found was when he wore that mask and he was cutting promos, it was too muffled. And actually it was like, you know, I'm coming, blah, blah, blah. Like the words didn't come out as well. So what they decided to do was cut the mouthpiece off. But to us, it looks like an altered mask for some reason, a different mask for some reason. And then also you ask the question, why was the mask on screen that kept interrupting, why was that different to the one that Howdy was wearing? Like, do you know what I mean? The masks were a nightmare last time. And we never got an answer as to what that was about. I think part of it was that, as I said, it was easier to talk with the mouth exposed. And I think that was a bit of a running change, if you will. And unfortunately, I think that sort of thing happens. So I think that they will go into this with a better idea as to what they need to do with Howdy, the little changes they want to make. I would not imagine that he just puts the exact same stuff on and comes out. I'd imagine that they will look to see, can we evolve it? Can we upgrade it? I would expect there to be a degree of change, but I'm not expecting it to be seismic. I'm not expecting it to be a completely different character now. I think it will be Uncle Howdy, and I think they've already sort of introduced Howdy. We know what Howdy looks like, so they can't really deviate too far from that. But it's a bit like The Undertaker. The Undertaker evolved over time, didn't he? You know, he debuted with black gloves. Then he went to grey gloves. Then he changed to purple gloves. Then he really started messing his attire around when he was in the Ministry. Then, of course, he became American Badass and whatever. I think that you'll see that with Howdy. So an evolution is what I would expect. I think people look back at the original Bray Howdy run sentimentally over Bray. But it wasn't good. And it was a bit confusing, said Hassim. Yeah, I agree. I think that there was a lot of it where we were waiting for answers, and there was a lot of stuff that we wanted to get answers on. I think I look back on it, and I definitely think if someone was to say, right, you can go back, and you can go back to that time, you can make any changes you want, what would you do? There's a fair bit I would change. I wouldn't touch White Rabbit. I thought White Rabbit was about as perfect as it got, to be honest. You could maybe go back and try and drop in a few darker videos. You know, I think some of the stuff we've seen with Nightbird has been fantastic, but I don't have any desire to go back and change White Rabbit. It was so well received, and you know, I felt it did about as good a job as it could do. I suppose my only criticism at the time was that it was very similar to Nightbird, getting in the way of the shows, and maybe I would have looked at that, found a way of it maybe not disrupting the shows quite as much as it did, just like Nightbird's. But other than that, the actual campaign itself, just like Nightbird's, was incredible. You know, there's not anything with Nightbird that I would want to change, apart from maybe when it hits and how much it disrails the shows, right? In regards to when Bray arrives, though, you know, I said the other day, like, him being at odds with Uncle Howdy, Howdy saying, you're a liar, you know, revel in who you are and all this kind of stuff. Bray was standing there and he was like saying, you know, I've left that behind, you know, this is me, I'm vulnerable, you know, I'm not wearing a mask anymore. And Howdy was like, you're a liar. And all this. I kind of feel like they were at odds and it took one Sister Abigail to kind of bring Bray around, and that was it. And I would rather establish what was Bray's relationship with Howdy. What was their relationship? Where did he come from? We don't know the origins of Howdy. We don't know where Howdy came from. He wasn't around in the funhouse, but it would be great if we could find a way of explaining that he actually was. You know, he actually was. He was there all along. We just didn't know it. You know, maybe he was one of the puppeteers. Maybe he was always just lurking behind the door. Maybe he was the cameraman, right? I don't know, but he was always there. We just never saw him. We just didn't ever reference him. But again, none of that was explored. And I was waiting for that. And we may have got that. That might have come. Those answers may have arrived. It's just that Bray sadly passed away, you know. But for me, I look back on that period as being one of frustration. White Rabbit, amazing. When Bray debuted, I think it was frustration. Frustration from certain people we weren't moving the story fast enough. Frustration that we weren't exploring different relationships. Maybe a bit of frustration that the Pitch Black match wasn't better received. I actually didn't mind it. I was not down on the Pitch Black match. I thought they tried something different. I kind of thought it looked cool in places. Like when Bray went through the commentary table and all of those like balls or whatever just exploded. People rightfully went, what are they? Right? People have rightfully asked the question, what the hell are those? Right? But it still visually looked very impressive. And then I still think that character he created at the very end of that match, you know, he's glowing in the dark and then he seems to put a new mask on. And Bray is so big. He was so big, so jacked, and he's just standing there like this otherworldly creature. I mean, it was really impressive. It was so impressive. That final image, if you will, of Bray when he kind of stands there and puts on this, it's like this little smaller mask actually. I remember at the time saying, is this Howdy? Is this Howdy? Is this Harper, sorry, is this Uncle Harper? Was it a new creation? What was that thing that we only briefly got introduced to? What was that thing at Royal Rumble? Maybe people will say it's just Bray. It was just Bray being like Bray. It was just Bray, but it could have been deemed a new creation. But again, we never heard about that after. I really expected it to be a case that Bray said, did you enjoy meeting him or something like this, you know? Kind of making out that we had met someone even darker than the Fiend. Perhaps this is the person the Fiend answers to. Perhaps you've got the Fiend and then there's this whatever we got at Royal Rumble, you know? It's very interesting. I would love for that to have been explored. I think frustration, yeah, that we just did not dig that bit deeper into these things. But it could have come, honestly. I mean, it could have been a case it was all on the way. It was all going to be explained. We would have met these characters again. We could have, you know, really dug into all of this. But it just, you know, it was took away from him, us, more importantly, his kids. And, you know, it was what it was. So I look back on that as being a time of frustration, to be perfectly truthful with you. And one followed by heartache, of course, when the news comes through that he's passed away. But now we've got an opportunity to revisit it. And this is the stuff that I would love for us to dig into. I would love for us to go back now and answer some questions. What is Howdy's relationship with Bray? We can all have theories on it, but let's try and get an answer on it, right? What was that creature that we were introduced to at the Royal Rumble? You know, what was that thing? Was that just Bray or was it a new creation? Why are they back? What are they trying to achieve? Where has Rowan been? I understand they're going to tell us that they've been in this cave and all that kind of stuff, you know, Plato's cave and whatever. But I don't believe that. I don't believe they've been locked in a cave just like that story. So they've been in their own personal caves. But where has that been? What have they been up to? What hells have they been through? What darkness have they endured? You know, what's Nikki Cross been doing? Where's Dexter Loomis been? I would like answers with that. And how does their worlds fit in with the Funhouse and the Bray worlds? How does where they, you know, have they been somewhere that's been connected to the Funhouse, or have they been in their own fun houses, or how? And you know, do we see the puppets? How do they interact? There are so many questions. So many questions. I don't know that we get the answers, but I would really like, if this is our one opportunity to really put a bow on this universe. And I don't know how long this run's going to last for, right? But if this is our one shot to revisit things and really, you know, wrap up this Bray world, if you will, right? I hope that we really try and tackle some of this stuff. So a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, to be honest. A lot of stuff that I'm hoping to get answers on. Martin said, I'm confused why the Funhouse puppets appeared on the platform at the Royal Rumble. That left me with a bunch of questions. Were they coming to life for real? Well, my honest answer is that, again, I think they wanted to do it for impact. I genuinely don't know if there is a satisfying answer to that. I don't know if it was a case that, well, we've got the costumes, so, you know, we can... I mean, to be perfectly truthful with you, I don't think any of that platform stuff needed to happen. That, to me, is what brings the match down, right? The match itself is short, but it's hard hitting, right? They're really going at each other. They're fighting in the crowd. They're fighting on the commentary table. It's short, but visually, I really enjoyed it. And at the end, I didn't really have many complaints. The biggest complaint is I wish it had been longer, right? That was the biggest complaint. I wish that it had gone longer. But I had been presented something that I had not seen before, a glow-in-the-dark match, right? It did remind me a lot of those kind of arcades, you know, those pucks that kind of float on air, and it reminded me a lot of those machines that, because they sort of glow in the dark as well. You kind of get them in the arcades, don't you? It reminded me a bit of that, and it was kind of cool. I was into it. I was not down on it like other people, and then Bray kind of put that mask on, and he seemed to get bigger. He seemed to, I don't know if he just stood up straight, but he seemed to get bigger, and I was like, wow. And then he went stalking after LA Knight. LA Knight got out, and he was like following after him. If they, at that point, had just gone straight to the back, I think that would have been great. But then they go to the platform, and for me, this is just, all of this was stuff that really was not needed. Because the puppets appear, and you're right, why were they there? Why were the puppets there? You know, they were in the arena when he returned as a way of, you know, heralding his return. But I really think that it was just a case that we've got the costumes. Should we just have them involved? We've got the costumes. We can use them. Should we just have them involved? I don't know that it went any deeper than that. I hope it did, but I don't know that it did. And then, of course, you've got Howdy with an elbow, which set off some firework, pyro, whatever. Again, I didn't feel like that was needed. And obviously then you get different angles of the elbow, and people are like, it sucked, it didn't even hit. And then you have got Bray just sort of standing there. You know, he went stalking after him, and then he ends up just sort of standing there with his, like, you know, that whole thing should have been cut, in my opinion. At some point, they should have looked at that and went, yeah, no, we don't need to do this. Noam Dar is backstage. Right, we are live with NXT. We'll obviously talk about the QR codes and everything a bit more on Thursday. So, Noam Dar's been attacked, but I don't know that he's been attacked. Has he attacked himself? NXT Battlegrounds. So, Battleground is coming up. Looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. We've watched so many shows from the UFC Apex. I know many of you won't have joined us for UFC streams, but we've done, God knows how many, 50 UFC shows that have come from that venue. So to see NXT there is going to be so strange, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Nathan said, I would do a combo of the first spooky video package building off the campaign of why they're here, what do they want, and then sneak attacks followed with wrestling matches, says Nathan. 2 a.m. Mark said, if WWE wants us to join their Twitch tomorrow, I suggest they give us another QR code so they don't leave us on a cliffhanger because yesterday didn't give an explanation. Well, to be honest with you, I think that they want us to go to that channel. I don't know if they've done enough to make it clear that we think you have to click on that door link, right? We think you have to click on that door link. That's what I'm going to gamble on. If that turns out to be wrong, then I would agree they needed to make it a bit clearer as to where we need to go. But there is a very obvious link that does not work on the QR code this week. And the thinking is that that is going to work on Thursday. Right, here is Kiana and Izzy. So Kiana's still around. If I'm going to run more, you'll run NXT. So Kiana with a few words for Izzy Dame, and here is Soul Ruca. I was #1 in the combine, says Soul Ruca. So Soul Ruca is walking out on her hands. That is impressive, isn't it? Doing it for a little bit is one thing, but actually coming out and walking on her hands. Soul Ruca, very, very impressive competitor. Making her way down to the ring. Bit of a splits on the edge of the ring as well. Smile on her face. Agility like you just don't believe. I mean, if you are a female wrestler, you must be looking at people like Soul Ruca going, I don't stand a chance. I don't have that kind of gymnastics background. Like, I don't know, if you want to be a wrestler, you kind of have to get into gymnastics, don't you, really? It's crazy. It's crazy. Wrestling used to be, I'm going to smash your head in. Now it's pirouettes. Here's Izzy Dame making her way down to the ring. If we tried that, we'd break our neck. Speak for yourself, James. How do you think I leave the pub? Izzy Dame taking on Soul Ruca. Soul Ruca. I don't watch NXT, but I'm here to chill. Welcome, Frank. Hope you're well. Miss Clown, hello. Said, I've got many costumes, and that's why I use them. I have them. I might as well dress up. Miss Clown asked me to get him a Hogan's Beach Shop magnet, which I did, because I'm a legend. And I love Miss Clown. But yeah, you need to send me your address, because I don't have it. So, Miss Clown, can you send me your address? Not because I'm going to come round, right? Don't get your hopes up. But I will send that thing over to you. Wrestler Andy, hello. Stumbling over your own feet. Yeah. In my mind, that's what I'm doing. In actual fact, I'm an absolute disgrace. In actual fact, I'm urinating against a wall. But in my mind, I'm like walking on my hands and everything. I'm that far gone. Oh, Soul Ruca goes down. So, Wrestler with Andy said, Daze, it looks like WWE have Cody listed as the Universal Champion on the website. Technically, there's no more WWE Champion. Have they changed it, have they? Have they changed it? Wasn't he listed as WWE Universal? It says here, undisputed WWE champion. It says undisputed WWE champion. So have they changed it again? What's happening? What's going on? Are you lying to me? Think that's big? Think that's big, eh? Think you want to come on here? Lying. Undisputed WWE champion. That's the one he needs in it. If they're going to cut anything, they're going to cut Universal. We don't need that. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I want it gone. Sol Ruca, look at that. Doing a moonsault off that middle turnbuckle. Truth Seeker said Dreadmare has come back. There's more gullible people that are falling for it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more we can do, to be honest. We've been very vocal about it. We always answer. I always respond to comments. I just sort of feel like, you know, there's not... I feel like we've done our jobs. Do you know what I mean? It's up to them now. It's up to them. If they want to believe those things or, you know, that's up to them. They'll just be sad, won't they? They'll just be disappointed when Bozo the Clown doesn't appear. Here's Izzy throwing Sol Ruca into the ring. And he said, I checked a few days ago. They must have changed it back. Yeah. Yeah, they must have done that, mustn't they? Yeah. You were just trying to show us up, weren't you? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to show me up in front of my friends so that I would go around saying, oh, have you heard they've changed it to you? And people are about, no, they haven't. But yeah. I'm on to you. Yeah. It's this deep-seated rivalry between the Scottish and the English. Oh, she's got blood coming down her arm, Sol Ruca. Izzy Dame charging over. Sol Ruca is getting Izzy on her shoulders. No joy. Against the ropes. Up, over. Face first goes Sol Ruca. Izzy, elbow. Turning Sol over. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Doug said, Uncle Howdy, I reveled in it and all I got was an old torn up Starbucks cup. Imagine Uncle Howdy on Starbucks cups. That'd be awesome. Simulation 54 said, will you be attending AEW's All In 2 Khan's Revenge now that you're not streaming it? Do you know, I was tempted. I didn't look into it any further. The reason I was tempted is because Danielson's going to retire. And, you know, this I feel like would probably be the last chance to see him. Just like how, for me, last year would have been the last chance to have seen Sting. So this would be the last chance to see Danielson. I've always wanted to see Okada in person. And are they not teasing a Mega Okada? I mean, I can't even imagine them doing a Mega Okada. If they do that, I just don't know. I mean, I feel confident that I could rock up on the day and get a ticket. So I don't feel like there's a rush. I don't feel like I'm in danger of missing out. I've got plenty of time. I mean, I could sit here on the morning of the show and be like, shall I go? Shall I not go? So I feel like I'm all right in that regard. But I must admit, to see Okada, see Ospreay, see Danielson, see Tony Storm, I don't mind seeing Mercedes. Mind that. Samoa Joe will probably be there. Swerve will probably be there. You know? You could get tickets at the top for like 30 quid. Jump on a train, go down, have a beer, do a bit of that. Don't mind. Oh, Soul Snatcher connects! Yeah! Ah, man. That was a Soul Snatcher out of nowhere. So she was over in the corner. Izzy came over and she just went, whoop. Did you see that, says Booker? I saw it and it was sick. Sol Ruca with the Soul Snatcher. Let's go. Let's go. Right, let's get match score. What did you think about it? Oh, here's Ava. Tag match doesn't count. There's the Riz. Love the Riz. Yeah, the referee had a bad case of bronchitis. We don't know where they are. There's friend of the channel, Luca Crucifino. She's so good. She can't do that, $20,000? That's nothing to the Don. He leaves that as a tip. Oh, look, she's got it in a brown bag. Hand it over. Done. Ava's like, maybe you could spruce this place up. You're tough, but you're fair. No funny business, says Tony. No funny business. Let's go. The family are out of there, man. Pretty fun. Right, here's we gotta start moving, man, with Enofé and Blades. Been in NXT for a while. What the hell's he got? Is that a rabbit's foot? Friendly. You guys are awesome. You don't need a rabbit's foot. Where did she put the foot? He really needs the rabbit's foot. Is this OTM? I'm really bad at entrance music now. I used to like be able to go boom. Yeah, I know who this is. It is OTM. Scripps is still on there. Scripps is on there, but sadly he'll be leaving soon. He's not here. But it was announced that Scripps is leaving soon. They're not going to look to renew his contract. Okay, OTM are taking on some people, but I can't remember who. Enofé and Blade. Oh, yeah, no, he probably does need that rabbit's foot. Thinking about it, he probably does, because they're going to get murdered. Plus, King and Queen of the Ring continues. Orton versus Hayes. Cargill versus Jax. Tiffany versus Belair. I never saw this. TNT Sport cut this the other day. Jacksonville. Ah, if I was still in Florida, I could have gone. Jacksonville. They should do Daly's place. Daze, I got some breaking news, said Johnny. Let's go. You know how you told me you can't watch The Walking Dead? All The Walking Dead offs are coming to the UK. Are they? Are they? That's good news, Johnny. That's good news. Oh, Johnny, you did good. I'm going to look at that now. Dead City UK. No spoilers. Finds a new home on Sky. Sky, I don't have Sky. I can get it though. The Walking Dead universe is coming to Sky and on streaming services on Now as part of a long-term partnership with AMC. Sky today announced that all episodes of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, will be released on the 31st of May. Fans of the franchise will also be able to binge all 11 series. Seen it all, mate. Seen it all. Of the post-apocalyptic horror The Walking Dead. Love The Walking Dead. Did it go a bit rubbish? Yes. But did it also get good again? Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did. It went like that. Really good, really good. Oh, actually, I'd say really good, really good, really good. Came down, came down, came down. Little rise, ended. That's kind of how it went for me. But I haven't seen any of these ones. So it's coming to Sky. What was the rest? The Walking Dead from Sunday 19th of May to watch all the 11 series. The spin-offs, Daryl Dixon and Dead City, are both coming later in the year. Johnny, that's good news. You're one of the good people. You have cheered me up, even though I wasn't down. I'm doffing my cap to you, sir. Dothing. There's some cap dothing going on. Tommy, hello, said, oh my god, it's the real Unclow Howdy. Hey, I don't know if people watch the Wrestling Escape Pods. I never looked to see if anyone's actually watching. But if you did, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, because I thought it was really good. And I'm really looking forward to doing more of it. Me and Tommy went and had a little potter around the toy shops in Boston, which was kind of cool. So I said I was going to do that. I might do it now. If you have got some interesting places that you want us to go to and have a little look at on next week's episodes, then I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you me typing the tweet. Right, let's go over here. There. Right. If I go here, this is the Wrestling Escape Pods. Yeah? Let's make it bigger. Wrestling Escape Pods. So, here, look. We've got Wrestling Escape Pod. Oh, we've hit 1,000 followers. I didn't know that. Well done. Well done, Tommy. That's definitely you and nothing to do with me. Look, the last pinned tweet was from February. But if you go to Wrestling Escape Pods, then I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to say feedback required. Here we go. Feedback required. Do you know of any interesting or quirky places you want Tommy and myself to explore on next week's episodes? Leave info below. So that's up now, right? That's up now. And if you go over to Wrestling Escape Pods, which is at Wrestling ePods on Twitter, then you can actually go to that and leave a comment here. And then we'll have a look at that and we'll explore it next week. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be really good. We did a load of toy shops in Boston today. We did a load of toy shops where we had a little look around. We found some good stuff in just the pictures. In just the pictures they put up, we found some really good wrestling stuff. Stuff I didn't even know existed. I need to look for that Hogan, actually. There was a giant, soft Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan plush toy giant. Oh, hello. We got some fighting going on with Lola. Oh, is that Natalia going after... Natalia's going after Shayna. I think we've got Carmen and Lola. It's all happening backstage at the moment. Here's a load of guys. Here come the boys. Look, she's desperate to get at them. There's Brindley. She's come out with Malik, Blade, and Idris Enofé. Yeah, I'm looking for this giant Hogan soft toy, which I genuinely had never seen before, but it looked massive. It was like huge on this shelf in this shop. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to find that. I don't know, man. I've never seen it before. Perhaps they've got the only one. Perhaps they had it specially made or something. I don't know. No, nothing's coming back for it. 11-inch, how big's that? Like that? Nah, it was way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. Dead end? I'm going to have to go to that shop, aren't I, and just buy it. Oh! There! 36-inch. Ah, that look. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing like suck it. WWF giant 36-inch plush Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. I never knew that was made. 36-inch. How much is that? I'm going to look for it. Right, we've got this match underway. OTM are going to win this, said Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy, shout out to you. Hope you're well. Yowie wowie. Okay, so right now we've got OTM in control. Enofé in the ring at the moment. He gets hurled over into the corner. Boom, swing and a miss. Big shot coming in to the midsection. Wailing away. Look at him, man. Properly abusing him in the corner. Enofé goes down. OTM very much in control, but Blade comes in, grabs Enofé, and that allows Enofé and Blade to try and get the upper hand, but it didn't work. Brindley still on the outsides. 36-inch Hulk Hogan. Shots coming in. I don't even know if this was available in the UK. I've never seen it before or even heard of its existence. Oh, lovely drop kickers. Both of OTM go to the outsides. Going against the ropes. Over the top. Down they go. Oh my God, man. That looked like a rough landing. Blade came down over the top and he seemed to just hit the ground more than anything else. Look at the thighs of Brindley Reese. Like, she is... I think she does a lot of squats. Oof. Back elbow. Oh, look at Brindley going off at Jada Parker. Brindley Reese against Jada Parker. Let's go. Again, big shots coming in. Brindley's being pulled back as she's trying to get over at Jada. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Exclusively on X. On X. Tommy, you have a real girlfriend already, said Al. Yeah, he does, yeah. That's right, yeah. It's very real girlfriends, yeah. Do you know, I'm on American eBay, and even American eBay doesn't have that giant 36-inch plush Hulk Hogan. It's mental, innit? I have never known of its existence before we had a little venture. Mental. Let them fight, said Ray J. Joe said, it's awesome that you've got them, Johnny. Let's go down. I want to join in the conversation. Johnny said, I got John Cena's buddy, Zack Ryder's buddy, Rey Mysterio's buddy, and Ryback. Everyone needs a Ryback buddy. I think I'm blocked on Twitter by Ryback, and I'm totally fine with it. Tommy said, Lola Vice is single. Is she? Is she? Are you sure? I would imagine there's many a man that are ready to take that young lady out on a date. Not you, though, because you've got a very real girlfriend, haven't you? Dumper, actually, thinking about it. Why don't you bin her off? Bin her off and see if you can get Lola Vice instead. I'm a big believer in upgrading. You know, when my phone kind of comes to the end of its run, I don't go, no, I'll keep this one. I upgrade to a newer one. And like when this microphone dies, I'm not just going to buy the same. I'll want the best that's available. Why don't you just bin your girlfriend off? Bin her off and just get a better one like Lola Vice? Did you think about doing that? Let us know. Enofé and Blade against OTM. This is match number 1, amazingly. Strange match to open the show with, but here we are. I don't have X anymore, but when I did, I got blocked by AJ Francis from TNA. He's also top dollar. I doubt Lola Vice is single, said Kader. That's, well, I don't know. Perhaps her relationship status is complicated. Bin-O-Rama, said K-pop lover. That's it. Bin-O-Rama. Let's go. But then we won't have Tommy and his real girlfriend's wedding, said Tom. No, he'll have another girlfriend who'll be more better, and it'll be a better wedding. Because think about it. If she's better looking, that means her family are going to be better looking. That means there's going to be better looking bridesmaids, better looking sisters. You know, I'm trying to go to this wedding. I don't want to go there and look over at the bride's sides and just see uggos, yeah? Because I'll tell you now, I won't go. I won't go. There is a... I think it's fair that there is a certain standard that has to be met. And my concern is, I've never seen Tommy's very real girlfriend, but in my mind, because she's not real anyway, I really do have an image of her being really ugly. Just really offensively ugly, actually. Really offensively ugly. So if we can get him to upgrade to like a real woman and one that's actually attractive, that would be awesome. So I'm just saying, whatever encouragement you need, I'm here for you. I will be your wingman. Yeah. I'll have to do it remotely, but I will be your wingman. That would be cool. Imagine in a club, you're in a club and you need a bit of a pick-me-up, a bit of confidence boost. You could just have me on one of those new AI pins and project me. Boop, boop, boop. Daze, can you just jump in for a second? Yeah, no problem. Hang on. Project onto your hands. And you can be like, Daze, I just need some confidence boost. I'll be like, look, you got this, dog. You got this, yeah? Just have a drink, go over, just you know, break the ice, just say, how you doing? Like, you know, just say anything and see what comes back, and then you can bounce off that. Oh, that's good advice. I know, mate, I know, I got you back. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? Did you see that AI pin that Marcus Brownlee was hating on? It's very impressive. It's got built-in projections and it projects onto your hands. I don't even know if it does the thing. I've just added that. Right, we're back to this match at the moment as OTM and Malik and Blade are battling away. Russell Andy said, Daze, with SummerSlam being in Logan's hometown, what if he wins with the title so he can take it into the show and rematch with Cody? No. I ran it through the supercomputer. And it says no. It's come back no. It's come back that would be awful on the level of David Arquette. Back elbows coming in. Derek said, Daze, on one rant after another while the rest of us are trying to focus on NXT. This match is dull. Malik and Blades are, I mean, there's just not really much to them. We haven't built them up. If this is our attempt to build them up, like, be good if we'd made this match feel a bit more important rather than it just a bit more, like, thrown together. It's a very strange match to open the show with. Blade is up top, looking for a crossbody. Down go both members of OTM. Enofé's boot is... Look at any of you guys' boots on! He's got his boot undone now. He's got... Oh, God, it's a car crash. He's not going to be able to run with that boot up. He lands on his feet, goes for a drop kick. OTM go to the outsides. Tommy, she shakes her ass. It's a massive upgrade, said Tom. Yeah, she'll do that for you. Big kick by Price. It's not so much her ass. I think it's more the hip in it. Bang, bang, bang. It's more that. Here we go. Down, gets planted. Going for the cover. 2, 3. It's a win for OTM. Right, match score. Match score. Imagine dating someone who dances on TikTok. Oh, hello, we're backstage with Noam Dar. Backstage with Noam Dar. I'll step up. I'll beat your boy, says Oro Mensa. Why don't you think it was Trick, Lash, eh? Why don't you think it was Trick? That was our second match, wasn't it? I was getting confused. Our first match was Soul Ruca. That was our second match. Now we're going to our third. This is Ivy Nile taking on Lash Legend. Lash Legend doesn't think that Trick did it. She doesn't think that Trick attacked Noam Dar. That's just not the Trick that she knows. The Trick she knows is a cutie pie. Who is going to be next to qualify for Battlegrounds? Ivy Nile versus Lash Legend. It's got to be Lash in it. Tommy, what about a practice date on the Wrestling Escape Pods? Daze could play the woman. We'll groom you for the perfect date. Oh my god, I'd be so good at that. I'd get a wig. I would get a wig and I would sit in and I'd be like, hello. Like this. And you'd be like, alright, how you doing? And I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Hey, I just said, how you doing, huh? Do you want some crab? I don't mind a little bit, but could I have a starter first, please, sir? Will we do appetizers? Yeah, we can get another crab. Oh, okay. We can play that out. I think it would be very good for you, actually. Good experience. Sonny said, Daze, chat, I need to know how to make the Discord fun and interesting. Hit me up in the Discord for what I should do to make it more fun and interesting. I think it's difficult, innit? I think it's just really a place for people to hang and chat. So I don't know that you can really... I suppose people sharing their thoughts and their theories and funny GIFs and things that they notice, stuff like that, like putting stuff there would be good. I suppose a bit like Unseen, really, where I just kind of round up the fun things I see in the day. If people with like the fun things they see drop them in the Discord, that would make it quite engaging, I think. Lance said WWE should sign Luigi Primo. He is the pizza guy. What happened to the pizza guy? Where did the pizza guy go? He was in AEW for a hot minute and then he sort of disappeared, didn't he? I don't know what happened to him then. Where did the pizza guy go? And is he safe? That's my question. So that was good 90% for that one. Good 90%. People weren't cray-cray about that match. Ruca beating Izzy Dame. Right, 35 minutes in. We're at commercial break. Everyone in AEW disappears at some point. What happened to the Devil storyline? That seems to... I've not heard anyone talk about that. Where did it lead? What happened? MJF went. Adam Cole was, you know, Mr. Evil. And then it all just seemed to go quiet. Where is Britt Baker? Said James. That's a good question. That's a good question. It's dead in the water. Thank you for that answer, says Doug. NXT sucks, said Brian. Yeah, take that, NXT. Sol Ruca's good. Here's Triple H. Shawn Michaels is good. Tom said the Devil storyline. I'd forgot about that. Derek said it led to MJF having a broken back and Adam Cole can't stay healthy. Wicked Dust said Adam Cole was the devil. Planet Dan said, I'm sure this will be an unseen, but JoJo has written and will be recording a song about Wyndham that is going to be emotional and beautiful. Unexpected. Well, it'll be an unseen if someone's tagged me in it. If no one's tagged me in it, well then I'll have to try and find that information myself, won't I? Important update from Nick Aldis. What's this?
An update and some slightly unfortunate news ahead of tomorrow's SmackDown, Friday 8/7 Central only.
What's going on?
Unfortunately, as many of you know, Bobby Lashley was set to take on Tama Tonga in the King of the Ring.
I can't hear it because it's botching this.
Injury during training.
Botching this right up, mates.
Not been medically cleared to compete in that match tomorrow night. So
who's not medically cleared?
Unfortunate news for Bobby Lashley, but a fortunate.
Oh, this is old. Why are we watching this? This is from forever ago. I thought this was new. I thought someone else was injured in the tournament, the cursed tournament. Right, we're backstage. Here's Ridge Holland. Got Ridge Holland is backstage with Nathan Frazier, Axiom. We got the Good Brothers. Daze, will you come to Scotland for Clash if they're going to do fan events around the show? Don't know. I would go for a drink with you, Andy, if that's what you're asking. Is that what you're asking? That's what you really want to know, innit? Would we go for a beer? I would. You've got no stand-in talking to us like that, says Anderson. Go find a brother to team with. Tonight. Go and find a friend. I'll do it. I'll do it. Just don't tag me in. I can look moody. Jakara. Lash. Is it just Jakara and Lash? Yeah, just Jakara and Lash. Making their way down to the ring. Lash is going to be in action. Representing metaphor. Lash Legend making her way down. She's been making great strides. These two have known each other for quite a while, haven't they? Ivy Nile and Lash Legend. Quite a size difference. Look at the size of Lash Legend. I mean, she is tall. She used to be a basketball player, I think. Okay, so Ivy in the ring, staring over at Lash. Lash charges. Oh my God, she went running over. Vicious back elbow, and down went Ivy. Ooh, mates. Took her head off. Ah, Brady, thank you. JoJo has written a song and plans on recording it soon. Lash. I wonder what style it'll be. I wonder if it'll be something. I wonder if it'll be something else. I'm expecting it to be like a ballad. What if it's techno? What if it's a club banger? It's going to be the hottest song of the summer. Let's go. Nah, it'll be good. Looking forward to hearing that. Let's save that to Nightbird. JoJo's written a song. Dijak and T-Bar as a tag team. We don't just set the bar, we are T-Bar. Very good. We don't just set the bar, we are T-Bar. Right. Ivy going up. Daze, when are you going to kiss me again, says Corey. I don't know that I will, Corey, because I don't think we can recreate the magic of that last moment. We need to just let it be. We've got to stop chasing perfection. Oh, Lash goes over by Ivy. Lash goes back in the corner. Ivy backed in the other corner. I'm looking forward to that. Javon Evans, the young OG, taking on Oro Mensah. Ivy gets thrown into the corner by Lash, who charges over. She collides into Ivy. Ivy slumps down. I like that selling. She like that. That was good. Shot coming in there by Lash. When are we going to have a very real conversation about the fact that the ginger kid in the NXT crowd is the real leader of the WWE universe? When are we going to be ready for that conversation? Because I keep seeing the ginger kid in the crowd. He's got a red USA shirt on this week. He's at every taping, man. He's like Izzy was back in the day, but he's better. He's better. But you lot aren't ready for that conversation. You're not ready for that. Oh, look at that bulldog from the top there by Ivy too. Oh, mate, let's go. Mate, look at this from the top rope. Bulldog. Ah. How did she kick out of that? Against the ropes goes Ivy, round the houses. She gets picked up, lands on her feet. Dragon Sleeper. Got her over by the ropes. Oh, look at that. I love that as well. Arm round the back, tighter squeeze in it. Oh. Go on, Ivy. Oh. Face first down. Jakara trying to get involved. Oh, big boot by the Lash legends. Lash is heading to Sin City. I don't know that I can fear anyone that wears a headband. But there we go. Lash legend progresses. I wonder if he's a ginger ninja, says James. He looks like it. He looks like he could mess all of us up. Right, let's get the poll going. Ah, the young OG, man. The young OG. It's about to get real wicked and real bouncy. Bouncy! Javon. I'm a Javon stan. Alright, let's get the scores in for Lash versus Ivy. Daze, you would break him like a ginger snap. I don't know. There's a look in those eyes that I've only ever seen once before, and that was Big John down the pub. Big John down the pub just before he used to turn after having 5 shandies. He got a look in his eyes, and I detect the similar look in this kid, so don't know. Tread carefully, that's my advice. Daze, I've made a photography, music, and mental health check-in channel on Discords. Okay, all good. If that's what the people want, then that's what the people shall get. NXT love a good mystery attack storyline, they do. Joe said, imagine if Green Shirt Guy attacked Noam Dar. Imagine if Green Shirt Guy attacked the Ginger Kids. Big Time said, Days Raw did 1.5 on Monday. Only 1.3 watched the third hour. Last 3 weeks, 1.6. Wrestling heavy shows are a turn-off, and it looks like the numbers are reflecting that. Yeah, I think that's true. I think there is a balance that has to be found. Yes. I think if you just do wrestling, you know, there's a lot of people that tune in for the star power is everything. You know, if you've got Roman Reigns coming back on Friday, you're going to get views. Don't even need to announce any matches. You will get views. And he won't even be in a match, really. He'll just do a promo. But we've got to be honest that, you know, these are stars. We tune in because they are stars. They're treated as big stars. They're revered, you know, people love to meet them, get their autographs. Undertaker, Orton, Cena, The Rock, Roman Reigns. Like, these are the names that bring you the ratings. So, yeah, you know, match, just wrestling heavy shows. You've got to mix in, like, good amount of star power in there. And there wasn't really, like, a CM Punk. There was no Roman. There was no Cody, you know. So if they had been on, or you'd had one of them, then I think you would have had maybe a bigger number. Or if you'd done something with Becky, like we've said before, mystery as well. You know, what mystery was there? I know who's going to progress, but I don't know. Has King of the Ring grabbed attention all that much? Has it grabbed attention all that much? Are people desperate to... People will just tune into the pay-per-view to find out who wins. So I can believe it. I can believe it. I think WWE sort of know it as well. I mean, I don't think it's a great surprise. So, I don't know, what was it? 1.5, was it? 1.5. That's all right. That's all right. Take that. I think for me, once we're getting down to 1.3, then we've got, that's alarm bells. We have slipped down to 1.4 a few times. 1.5's okay. 1.6 is okay. 1.7 is good. In this day and age, in 2024, 1.7 is good. So, yeah, I think 1.5, I'm going to say that's average. Average. It's probably not average compared to where we've been during WrestleMania, but that is an exception, isn't it? We've got adverts for WWE Shop. James, shout out to you. I hope you are well. Uncle Howdy said, I think I know who attacked Noam Dar. I think it was Noam Dar. I think he's faking just to get out the match. That's what I think. And now they're trying to pin it on Trick Williams, but Lash isn't having it. Carly Bright, who are you? You finished 13th. Tatum Paxley is in Ava's office peering through the window. It's funny to think, I wonder if those combines do actually decide anything. Do you think they do those kind of combines and they get the results and then that determines who they push? She was there. She's like, girl, you did brilliant. I can see you was 13th here. And it's like, it's funny to think that that is deciding things, isn't it? You know? Here's the young OG. Don't need no combine for the young OG. Young OG. Young OG. Young OG. I really wanted to see him at the house show, and I was so disappointed when I didn't. The young OG. He's got so much charisma and so much personality, and he's so bouncy. He's got a good height to him. He's always, like, got something to say. I really like him. Oh, we're doing this entrance again. Look at this. Jakara gets to do her pose again. Loving it. She's definitely got that down. So it's metaphor, but again, there's only two of them. Jakara making her way down to the ring with Oro Mensah. No sign of Lash Legend. And of course, Noam Dar is injured. Right, let's end this poll, shall we? Let's get rid of it. It's yesterday's news. Daze, thanks for everything you do, especially with Nightbirds and everything else. I'm glad I came across this channel, says Dan. Dan, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the kind words, my friends. It is a pleasure. I mean, all we do with Nightbird is just round up the thoughts of the community, but if that was a little nod to the community, I think that's so deserved for you guys. It's a shame. It's a shame that they can only nod so many people, really. I mean, we know that Penfold got a little mention before, which was really cool, but I love the fact that they are aware of what's happening and they're aware of all the stuff that, I mean, of course you would. Doesn't take too much to go and find, does it, if you go online and you see all the people after the QR code dropped? They probably just sit there laughing their heads off, man. I bet they're in their head offices going, they think that's a clue. Barry, come here. Barry. Look at this clown. He thinks that's going to lead to something, right? He's found this and he thinks that we planted that. Do you know what we should do next time? What we'll do next time, right, is we'll put some numbers in on the notebook. We'll put 18. Doesn't mean anything, right? But we'll put it there. You watch some of the theories that come back. It doesn't mean anything. Oh god, I bet they're doing that all the time. Disgrace. That's how you get your kicks, is it? You watching Rob Fee, eh? Think this is funny, do you? Cowards. Right, Young OG is in action. Young OG taking down Mensa. Going for the cover. 1, 2, kick out, shoulder up. Come on, you. Oh, look. Oh, she's come out now, has she? Lash Legends. Oh, I'm sorry. Where was you during the entrance? Oh, we run on your time, do we? Young OG bouncing off the rope. Straight. Oh, spilled to the outside. Kind of look like. I love that jacket, that WCW jacket that Lash has got on. In fairness, if she's late because she was trying to find that, then that's all right. Young OG just got hurled to the outsides. Metaphor. Boom. Ouch, said Mitchell. Daze, is Obafemi on the show tonight? No, not that I've seen announced. Might be on the show, but... Simulation 54 said, I've got a question. How do we feel about the story where Vince signs with AEW, but his secret plan is to take away Khan's power to get AEW as his own so that he can take down WWE and have it all? I don't think you can do that whilst the case is going on, to be honest with you. Plus, I don't know why he would want to go and bring down WWE. That is still the company that he created. That is still his baby. It may no longer be in his control, but that will forever be associated with him. So I don't know why he would now want to tear that down, to be honest. Because AEW is not his creation, is it? That's not his thing. So I don't think he would want to do that. I don't think Tony would want to work with him. Certainly not with all the allegations and all the baggage that's coming at the moment with the court case and everything. So it seems like a non-starter from every direction. Why do we think Punk returns? Dave Meltzer says that we're getting closer. He said June, July, August. No, July, August, September. Which to me says SummerSlam. So I am not expecting him before SummerSlam. Wicked Dust said, Obafemi is the worst wrestler I've seen in a long ass time. All he does is throw people. He doesn't know a wrist lock from Now, is the next word gonna be what I think it is, or have you swerved it? I haven't seen what the next word is. I'm trying to think if you're gonna go with the actual saying or if you're gonna change it. He doesn't know a wrist lock from a kettle. That'd be good, but I think you are gonna go wristwatch. Let's have a look. He doesn't know. Oh, I've lost it now. I've lost it now. I can't find the comment anymore. Oh, here it is. He doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. Disappointing. I think there was a real opportunity there to switch it up and go toaster. Kettle. Doll's house. He doesn't know a wrist lock from a doll's house. 20 matches that define the Intercontinental Championship. Drew versus Punk at SummerSlam World Heavyweight title match, says James. Mitchell said, Daze, outside of Trick, who do we think is the next main NXT star to break out? The young OG! Yeah! Javon. Javon is going to be a big breakout star. I don't know that he's the next, but I've no doubt he is going to be NXT champ. I will say now, NXT champ. And I'm sure people have already said. But look at what he's doing and how he's holding himself and how much energy he's got. And not only that, but how good in the ring he is. And he's 19 apparently. I don't know if I believe it, but he is 19. Kick coming in there by Oro. Javon goes down. And at this age as well, he's going to be a sponge. He's just going to absorb all this information. He's still learning and he's still growing. He's still a growing boy. Jakara on the outside's like, go to sleep, Javon. So Javon got planted face first. Javon going over to the edge of the ring, grabbing a hold. Look at the selling. Go on, Javon. Oro with a big shot to the back there as Javon trying to get back up to his feet. He's getting dragged through the ropes. Breaks out. Kick coming in there by Oro. Javon with big right hands. That looked good, man. I don't know what just went flying. It might have just been spittle. Could have been gum. I don't think it was a tooth, but it looked great. Javon going up as Oro comes over, throws in a few shots there by Oro. Shot coming back by Javon. Mitchell said, you're 21. It's not hard to believe he's 19. I don't know. He looks quite old for 19. I mean, I'm 21, but I look 21, so I don't know. On the edge of the ring, Javon at the moment. When will Alexa Bliss return, said Gamer Ryan. We think SummerSlam, but that's what Tom Colahue was reporting. He said they're penciled her in. Oh, look at the height. Javon with a springboard elbow. He flew. Air OG. So he's digging deep. He's getting up to his feet. I love the selling, man. Like, he's like, oh, come on. Chop coming in there by Javon. Kick coming into the knee. Forearm strike coming in by Oro. Uppercut there by Javon. Big strikes being exchanged back and forth as these two battling away to try and get the advantage over the other. Superman punch there by Javon. Tries to go against the ropes, but he gets caught by Oro. Almost got hit in the back. Lovely reversal by Oro. Oro showing that he's a class act here. Okay, springboard moonsault into a cutter. Oh, the young OJ. Javon Evans. Springboard cutter. Against the ropes. Over the top. Oh, my God. Shut it down. Scrap it. He is the next breakout superstar. He's everything Trick Williams wants to be. Trick Williams is looking at Javon Evans going, one day I hope to be that good. Clothesline there by Oro Mensah as Jakara tries to distract. The crowd are on their feet. As Lash goes underneath the ring, grabs a chair. Who's coming down? It's Trick Willie. Trick Willie is like, no, baby girl, no. No, honey pie. She's put the chair down. She's like, I ain't gonna do that then. I ain't going against Trick Willie. Trick Willie Wonka's made his way down to the ring. Look, he's cheering on the young OG, man. He's cheering on the young OG. Oh, he's taking the young OG under his wing. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the NXT champ coming down here, sticking up for Javon. This is so good. This is so good. Kick coming in there. Oh, did you see that right hand by Oro? Did you see it? God. Oh. Little kick coming in there by Javon. Tricks cheering him on, man. He goes up top. Oh! His new finisher. He hits it. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Boom. Give him all the flowers. Give him all the flowers. He's not getting enough flowers. Oh, Javon, I think he's a bit overrated. You shut up. Psst. Insane. In flipping sane. The standard. The benchmark. Oh, the kicks, the striking, the selling, the athleticism, the agility, the moveset. He beats Oro Mensah in a really great match. A really great match. Oro, that's the best match I've ever seen Oro have as well. So, we go backstage. We should have done 2 hours of that. That should have been an Iron Man match. Why have we got to do all these other stupid matches? An amazing talent, said Brony. The kid's 20 and putting on bangers. He's going to be great, said Got Any Nick. That was fun, says Brony. I really enjoyed that, says Johnny. Killed it, didn't he? The scorecards are coming in. He killed it. Oh, it's all downhill now. There's Kelly. Bit of Wesley. He's like Boomer Javon, isn't he? He's like, if Javon was a boomer, he'd be Wesley. Next Saturday, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Daze, it would be his plan to take his business and have both wrestling business, but it is a what-if situation. I wouldn't want it to happen. It would be his plan to take his business. To take Tony Khan's business. Well, Vince ain't going to want to do it. Because he didn't create AEW. And, like, that's just not his thing. I don't think he's going to want to come in and try and... He wouldn't... There's no way of him coming in and... Tony would have to sell, wouldn't he? Like, Vince can't come in and take the company. So, it's just a no. It's just a no. It's a no from me. It's crazy to think he's that age, says Chris. Daze, you're lucky that you left Florida. I know. When you did. We're no longer connected. We're no longer connected with the Court Catch crew. You could have found yourself under the bridge. Compliments. Of the family. Yeah, but at least I get to meet the Riz. Do you know what I mean? I'd be kidnapped and I'd be like, oh my god, are you the Riz? And she'd be like, don't talk to me. And I'd be like, ah. And then it'd be like, boom, dead. Sleeping with the fishes. It's not a bad way to go. Javon can't legally buy alcohol. Goods. Because nothing good comes of alcohol, right? So he should stay away from it. I feel bad from Wesley. He was supposed to be the one that was going to beat Dom for the North American title, said Brony. Megan said, do you think we get QR codes? I don't think so. Just because we didn't... The only time we've had one on NXT is the week I didn't stream it. And that was because it was the go home for Backlash. So maybe next week we might for the go home for King and Queen of the Ring. But we didn't get one last week. Now that I'm back. Oh, yeah, let's not do one anymore. Javon is so naturally gifted, says James. It's WWE that he would want back, says Simulation. How's he going to get it back by taking over AEW? It's a no-starter, Simulation. Abandon it. It's a dead end. It's not happening. I don't understand how him going into AEW is going to get him WWE back. It's not happening. Plus, he's got legal cases that he's trying to deal with at the moment, which are pretty bad. So I think he's kind of occupied at the moment. I am not watching Dynamite tomorrow, said Johnny, or probably never ever again. Who knows? They've got to change their ways, says Johnny. Well, you can still tune in to Tommy Toy Travels, but you better still leave a like on Tommy's stream, Johnny. I'm not having this disrespect. Not having this. I go on and leave likes, yeah? So you better still do that, Johnny. Other than that, though, you do you. You do you, mate. You do you. Nightbird update. The psychiatrist that the Fiend saw was played by a comedian called Rachel Bonnetta. She's good. And she doesn't really look like the woman in the photo! Exclamation point. Do you think Liv will get the belt from Becky at King and Queen of the Ring, said Max. And do you think Becky, having only 3 weeks left on her contract, changes their decision? I don't think so. I don't think it'll change anything. Do I think she gets the belt? No. I don't. I think that Becky is a big name. I think that Liv is shifting some merch at the moment, though. You can't ignore that. I don't think the contract thing's a barrier, because I think that'll get done. I'd be very surprised if that didn't get resolved. I mean, I can't imagine that they're just going to say goodbye to Becky. So, no, I don't think the contract thing is an issue. I'd imagine that'll get resolved relatively soon, actually. And it just comes down to who do you think wins. And I think if they were going to go with Liv, wouldn't they have just had her win the Battle Royal? So they didn't. Instead, they went with Becky. So why now will we have Liv beat Becky? Becky only just got the title. And if we really wanted to put it onto Liv, we could have done it at the Battle Royal. So for that reason, I'm saying Becky retains. Here's Wes. There's no effing way Becky leaves WWE, says James. Max said, do you think Liv will get the belt? We answered that. Liv for Trouble said they won't do a QR code because they are dazed no more. Yeah, that's right. Actually, that little reference was disrespectful, thinking about it. Now that we're back doing it, they're like, yeah, now we're not dazed anymore. We don't need to. Shade was thrown. Shots were fired. Liv is very much turning into a big heel, said Stuart. I agree with that, yeah. I'm quite interested to see where that goes. I think it's a good direction for her, actually. I think it makes her a bit more interesting. Okay, here's Wes. Last time I was in this ring, things were a bit different. I was in one of the darkest times of my life. Cried. We love you, Wes. Okay, so he's talking about the North American Championship. Is he going to beat Obafemi? That got a great rating and it so deserved it. 69% great. He missed this. We miss you, said Uncle Howdy. Eric said, if they need to take the belt off Becky, they can just do it on the Raw last minute like they did when they kicked Mandy Rose out, says Eric. That's true. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Two days after my surgery, I was up and walking again. Show off. Oh, was you now? Anything else you want to brag about? He said it was his goal to get back here. Go on, Wes. We're just joking. I was supposed to miss a year, but in 6 months, I am back in this ring. Don't know what to say. He's lost for words. Come on. Come on, Wes. Who's coming out? Who's this? Who's this boomer? Ah. Obafemi. Wes. I'm not here to cut you down. I'm impressed. The heights that you took this championship to, it's nothing short of an accomplishment. But you've taken it as far as you can. Sit back and watch me take this title to heights that you are not capable of. It's good, isn't it? It's a good line. He does look amazing, doesn't he? Obafemi. I mean, look at this. It's like a dad and his son. I am the ruler. I am the destroyer. I think he needs better shoes, Obafemi. That's my thoughts. I don't like his shoes. Nice shirt. Jeans are fine. Belt's fine. He looks great. It's just the shoes. A lot of people get the shoes wrong. It's clear that you check every box apart from the shoe box. They look a bit suede-y and I don't know. It's just not my bag. Give me a nice Italian leather. Yeah. Oh, God. Some other boomers coming out now. Oh, my God. Well, they better have good shoes. Oh, God. It's Ivar. He won't. Oh, he's probably wearing, like, dead animal fur or something. Oh, God. Here's Ivar. Casual Ivar in a baseball cap. I went through all the same things you did. Did you see that guy's sign? Look, there's a guy in the crowd that's got an Ivar sign. Why did he write the rest of it in lowercase? Capital I-V-A-R in lowercase. Oh, I can't do it all in caps. That's not the rules. It's only the first letter that gets a capital. I want a shot at Oba, says Ivar. Now we got someone else coming out. Josh Briggs. They've turned him heel recently, haven't they? I think they've turned him heel. What's his shoes like? We're in a pickle, says Briggs. Where's Brooks Jensen? That's my guy. Where's with your comeback story of the year? Josh, incoming. Josh is bland. Thomas said, can you answer my question? What was your question? Let me have a look. I'm scanning. Do you still have the inflatable WWE belts? Yes. Just don't ask me where. It's in that kind of, you know, that corner that's got all the figures. It's in there somewhere. But yeah, they never got thrown away. You and I tore the house down. We stole the show. Yeah, his shoes are like quite suede-y, aren't they? What's going on? Is this on trend? Is this the trend? Is suede in? I'll have a look. I've got it. Suede shoes trend. 24th of March. 2024, right? Yes, while it might sound surprising that suede boots are on the uptick between the boho trend we're seeing crop up and the demand for chic spring shoes, it's little wonder that suede boots are now appearing across high street and designer outlets. It's on trend. It's in. People are wearing suede. Suede, how to wear this summer's trend. Fight amongst yourselves. Well, I ain't doing it. I ain't going for suede. Poor man's leather, innit? So, there we go. Number 1 contenders match. Josh Briggs, Wesley, Ivar. Winner gets Ober Femi. I'm not sure about her outfit. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure. It reminds me of the kind of thing my grandma would wear, right? She's kind of got this lacy number at the top and it's very kind of puffy. Maybe that's on trend as well. I'm not sure. I'm getting grandma chic. Oh, what's going on here? Now we got Chase Yoon. There's Thea Hale. Teachable moment. See you out there. Oh, he's going to let him down, isn't he? Here's Gallows and Anderson. I swear if Ridge turns on Chase U, I'm going to laugh so hard. That'll be like the 10th time that he's turned on someone. Did FaZe only wear reds in America, says Eric. Did FaZe only wear reds in America? What does that mean? Here's Gallows and Anderson. Which Mattel Elite do we get first? Civilian Ivar or Fashionista Femi? Fashionista Femi. Very good. Very good. Right. Hey, I'm looking forward to San Diego Comic Con. There should be some great figure reveals this year. They've really been pushing, like, you know, and coming out with some really, I mean, like that Territories pack and everything. I can't wait to see what they come up with. Previous years, they've lost their mind doing stuff like, well, they've already lost their mind a little bit. Have you seen those Turtles figures? But it's not the same as when we were doing zombies or doing mutants and stuff like that. I mean, we were just going crazy. We were just going crazy. So I don't think we're going to do that kind of stuff anymore or in the short term. But so hopefully we're going to get some really good figures. I don't know who I want, though. I don't know who I want. Bull Nakano. That's who I want. Do you reckon as soon as Bull went into the Hall of Fame, you know, do you reckon that he was straight on the phone? Bill was like, can we make, oh my God, do you imagine if they reveal a Bull Nakano figure at San Diego Comic Con? Wow. That would be sick. So hopefully that's what we get. Those turtle figures are unreal. I can't wait to add them, says Paul. They are bonkers. What I would say, though, is that they've kept the wrestlers as still wrestlers. It's like they're wearing Turtles-inspired gear. Go back about 5 years and we would have had them with shells and everything. They would have been actual turtles that just happened to look like Kofi or whatever. They would be turtle bodies with shells and everything, but with a Kofi head on top and a, you know, we would have done that. Those mutant figures were insane. They were insane. We did mutants, we did zombies. I think there was another line as well, which I can't remember. But I know there was like Create a Superstar that came with loads of bits and you could swap them out and just do all these kind of weird creations. But we're not really doing that anymore. So it makes me optimistic that we're going to be getting just really digging into some really interesting figures. But I don't know what I want. Be quite fun actually to do a video where we kind of explore that. Be quite fun to do a video where you lot say the figures you're hoping to see. I'm going to write that down. Oh my god. Just had an idea. Is it a good idea? No. Probably not. But I'm still writing it down. What figures do the community... Don't tell me now. I'm not interested. We'll do a separate thing. I'm writing it down. San Diego Comic-Con figure requests. It'd be good if people went, I want a such and such and this attire, because then I can find the picture, which would be good. So if someone goes, I want Shawn Michaels from King of the Ring 95, something like this, then I can go back, find the image, you know? I like that. I've written it down. Daze and Uncle Howdy. Oh, yeah? Oh, we didn't get an Uncle Howdy, did we? Oh, that's good. We do need an Uncle Howdy. That's good. You'll have to keep an eye out for the video request and put it in that. Here's that snoring and the alarm. And that's it. Imagine if that doesn't lead to Wendy. Ding, ding, ding. Wendy Chu sucks, said Mitchell. The Turtles had baseball, hockey, football back in the 80s. I've got them, said Nathan. How many figures do you have, said Eric. I genuinely don't know. I really think everything counted up, it's going to be we're breaking over 1,000, but I have never actually sat down and counted them. Okay, is this Jasmine? Trying to get a get well soon card sorted for JC. Don't worry about those losers. Let the king sign it. There we go. He's going to sign it for JC. Get well soon. Access King. There you go. There you go. Get well soon, Jackie. I thought he said get well soon, Lexis King. But he wrote get well soon, Jackie. He said get well soon, Lexis King. But he actually wrote Jackie. That's mental. If I was saying a different name, but writing a different name at the same time, that is coming out a mess. That is coming out a mess. If I'm going like, get well soon, Wrestling Daze, but I'm actually trying to write Jackie whilst I'm saying to someone wrestling, oh my God, God only knows what squirrels. Can't see, I can't even talk. That's how much of a mess. God only knows the scribbles that would be on that page. Right, Chase U coming out. It's going to be our next match. Gallows and Anderson taking on Chase U. Let's go. Pax has been on the show. Pax has been on the show, yeah. Peering in Ava's office. Does anyone actually think Wendy Chu's gimmick is going to get her over, said Wicked Dust? I don't know, to be honest, because I think it's a gimmick that would actually work on the main roster. I think it's a gimmick that is different, intriguing. Kids, I think, will love it. I think adults will not get it. But I think kids can really relate to that kind of, I just want to stay in bed. I don't want to get up. I just want to stay in bed. I'm tired all the time. And I think I don't mind her being asleep backstage. and being in her pajamas and stretching as she makes her way to the ring. It's just when the bell rings, I want her to take that seriously, because you shouldn't really be messing around when the bell rings. Because if you're going to mess around, then I hope it costs you, to be honest. When that bell rings, it's a contest, you're trying to win, you're trying to get a winner's bonus, you're trying to progress in your career. If you can't be bothered when the bell rings, then you're going to lose as a result. Well, surely at that point, the company would ask questions about why are we keeping you on the books? So I always struggle when the messing around goes past the bell. But I think her having that gimmick of always being tired, stretching as part of her entrance, being shown asleep in the locker room, I can sort of vibe with that. I don't really have an issue with that. It's just when the bell rings that I'm like, right, come on, let's get to work now. Drop kick. Whether it would get her over, I'm not sure. That's hard to say. It really depends what stories we're telling, and, you never quite know how people are going to react to it, but will the kids take to it? And, I could see social media enjoying it as well, to be honest with you. I could see it being very memeable, shareable, So I think there's some merit to it. But it is very unconventional. It strays into the Orange Cassidy territory, doesn't it? Which, again, that was my issue with Orange Cassidy. I don't mind him being, can't be bothered. It's very similar. Can't be bothered. Yeah, put whatever you want on the screen. Here's my merch. Here, I'm going to pose for the thing. All of that, great. I was on board with that. The problem I have is that when the bell goes, little kicks, messing around, keeping his hands in his pockets, messing around. For me, when the bell goes, that's when, come on, it's time to work now. Shots coming in, headlock. This is why Daze can't say a lot of names. He'll put them wrong on screen. That's true. Gallows and Andrews. It's a better name. It's a better name. Who's Gallows and Andrews? New team. Didn't you hear that they rebranded them when they went down to NXT? They used to be Gallows and Anderson, but that was too hard to say. So now it's just Gallows and Andrews. They sound like a songwriting duo. A bit like, like Lennon and McCartney. Stock, Aitken and Waterman. Now we've got Gallows and Andrews bring you the Great American Songbook. Face first into the corner goes Osborne. I should say that it is Riley Osborne and Ridge Holland. He's going to let him down, isn't he? He's going to let him down. He thinks he's found some friends, but he hasn't. Oh, that's good by Riley. He cannonballs on top of them. Simon and Garfunkel, yes. Very good. Very good. Simon and Garfunkel. Benny and Bjorn. There's one that I'm not... There's one I'm trying to remember and I can't remember it. That's a very famous... Is it Rodgers and Hammerstein? There's a famous songwriting duo that I can't remember. Well, now it's Gallows and Andrews. Double axe handle there by Gallows. Is Chase U going against Gallows and Jackson Andrews? Yeah. Julie Andrews. Oh! To the outside goes Riley Osborne. Ridge collided into both, picks him up. Alabama slam come in. Ridge is in the ring. He's going to let him down. He's going to let him down. Oh, he didn't really let them down. Riley Osborne drop kicked him. Riley Osborne got that wrong. Well, Gallows and Andrews pick up the victory, but that's Riley's fault. Mr. Chase is like, calm down. Calm down. This is a teachable moment. Well, there's a lot of glum faces over in the Chase U corner. Carly Bright. We've just got a video package on Carly Bright. Carly Bright. I would have called her Carly Contrast. Carly Contrast. Carly Bright. Carly Saturation. Right, James Andrews built Gallows a strong ship just to have it sink, said Eric. Dave's talking of Anderson. Who's that? Did you hear Jimmy Anderson? Oh, Jimmy Anderson. Oh, Jimmy Anderson. Hey, do you know I'm going to the cricket? No, not the fourth test. I don't know what test it is, actually. England against West Indies at Edgbaston in Birmingham. Day 4, which, bit of a risk day 4, because I'm sure it'll get to day 4, but you never quite know how much action you're going to see on day 4. But that's what came back when I applied for tickets. There was so much demand that it came back with day 4. So I was like, okay, I'll have it. I don't even know what day it is, but it's in the middle of the day, so it shouldn't disrupt the streams. But I'm going to get smashed, mate. Yeah! Drinking beer. Oh! Barmy Army. Barmy Army. Barmy Army. You suck, you suck, you suck. So yeah, it's going to be good. A lot of people think that cricket is all very refined and dignified. Like, good day. If you actually watch England and look at the crowd, it's people in fancy dress going mental. There's massive, like, snakes of beer drinks that have all been put together, and the crowd are, like, passing it along and everything. It's bonkers, man. It's insane. I've said before, I've been to the cricket loads of times. There was a security guard to stop people running on the pitch, and he looked just like Stevie Wonder. So for the whole day, the crowd were like, there's only one Stevie Wonder, one Stevie Wonder. There's only one Stevie Wonder. One Stevie Wonder, there's only one Stevie Wonder, give us a wave. Stevie, give us a wave. Stevie Wonder, give us a wave. Stevie, give us. Come on, everyone, Stevie Wonder, give us a wave. Who are ya? Who are ya? Everywhere we go. We do love that chanting. It's just in us. It's just deep within us. Chanting and singing and making noise. And I think a lot of people think if you go to the cricket you have to sit there with your prawn sandwiches. Couldn't be further from the truth, to be honest. So very much looking forward to that. We're going to give them hell. Those West Indians coming over here, eh? Taking our women. Daze, when you're talking about cricket, I thought you was talking about a phone store. Cricket Wireless, yeah. No, the game. There's a game. I've got a question. Will you ever do a 24-hour stream, said Simulation? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. We'd probably have to do it for charity, and I don't like charity. Do you know what I mean? All that need. Not for me, mate. No, I don't know. Why would we do it? For lols. We've done long streams in the sense of like 15 hours. I think that's the longest. Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't know what the longest is. I'd say about 15. But we've not done 24. Don't think it'd be very good. I think by the time I'm getting to like hour 12, I'm not feeling as fresh. By the time I'm getting to hour 24, I'll be like ready for a little nap. I'll be like, talk amongst yourselves. Going to sleep. Hey, Riz. How you doing, the Riz? I'll be like that. You look like you need sleep now, said Eric. That's just me, naturally, mate. Naturally look tired. I could always have a little nap. That's why I don't mind the Wendy Chu gimmick, because I feel like I can connect with it. She's always ready for a nap. I'm similar. Give me a pillow now and a little quilt. Lovely. Here's Carly Bright. Is she, though? Is she? Or is she stupid? We might never know. So, Carly Bright is making her way down. Where is... I have lost my notes, and that's a little bit of a problem. Who's she facing? Lola Vice. Lola Vice. Okay, Carly Bright versus Lola Vice. This isn't our main event, is it? We've still got like 25 minutes to go. Wendy Choo Choo. I choose you. Choose you. I choose you. That's The Simpsons, isn't it? That's the card that Ralph gives Lisa. Amazing. Lola against Carly. What's actually your sleeping pattern, said Luke? Honestly, mate, it's a bit varied. I mean, ideally, I would be going to bed about 8 in the morning UK time. Or 9. That would be nice. And then I have to have 7 hours. 6 as a minimum, but I try for 7. So I don't know what time that would get me up. I'm thinking it'd be about 4, 5, something like that. So that would be perfect. Because I feel like the mornings are boring. No one cares about missing them. Lunchtimes, you know. But really, the good stuff happens after work, doesn't it? So I feel like I can get up just as good things are happening. But the thing is, I just stay up, you know, till the morning. I think I've got it worked out. I think that's the dream life. You know, when everyone's at work, like, and all that boring stuff, I'm getting up as people are finishing and things are getting good. I mean, I don't go anywhere. But if I did... You know, if someone's like, oh, I finished work at 6, do you want to meet up? I'd be like, yeah, I should be up by then. Yeah, I think I'll be up by then. I can do that. So getting up at like that 4-ish, going to bed at like 8, 9-ish. But this is what I said yesterday. I was trying to do Unseen. I was still awake at 12. I recorded an Unseen episode at about 12:30 for 20 minutes, and then my computer sent me a message saying, your memory's full. I was like, what? And it just stopped recording. And when I looked, I'd filled up my storage. And I was like, you are joking me. You've gotta be joking me. So I was completely disheartened. I got upset, shed a tear, and went to bed. So I was like, forget this. You know, when you get tired and you're like, oh, you know what, forget this. I was in that mood. Lola walks over Carly Bright. Little bit of that. Is Tommy still around? Eh? She's on screen. Quack, quack, says Bucky. Shucky, ducky, quack, quack. Lola goes for a shot as Carly goes against the ropes. Lola goes for her big boots. She charges over, clothesline. She goes down, back up on her feet. Another clothesline. She goes down. Stands back up as there's a drop kick there. But Carly, she's like, she's all fired up, man. She's all fired up. Lola goes down. Oh, standing moonsault. No, Carly. No joy. No cigar. Don't know where I've put my notes. Right now, she's looking to go up top. Lola is going to wrap this one up. 2, 3. She gets it. She gets it, mate. She's got it. It's done. Do 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 do. Oh, do you know, I've really confused myself. I've really messed myself up. I've got some notes on an actual notepad, and then I've started to use this kind of Kindle thing. So I'm all messed up now. I don't know if I'm coming or going. I've got notes flipping everywhere. Clothesline. Down goes Lola. Natalya and Carmen have come out. So they've come out to the aid of Carly Bright. Shayna's down. Lola's down. Don't know why Shayna's still around. I thought you was the baddest woman. Let's finish it. Tag match next week. Why has she got a little pocket on her leg? Can you see Carmen's got a little pocket on her leg? It's just like a little black thing here. A little Why does she need that? Is it because she's got no pockets? Is that a new thing they're doing now? If your outfit is skin tight and it has no pockets, you strap one to your leg. For like a little bit of loose change or something. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Riley. There's no hard feelings on my side, Riley. Nothing but respect. You can all trust me. I knew we could trust you. He's a good egg. Handshake. Okay, here we go. One day at a time. Yeah. You gotta believe him, Riley. He seems like a changed man. He seems like a changed man. No, nothing but respect there, I tell you. You've got my respect. Right, coming up next, Heritage Cup, Tony, Charlie. Next. Main event. This has got main event written all over it. Right. Daze, I've got a question. Have you ever tried cheese and Oreos? No. Sounds awful. Aren't Oreos like biscuits with like chocolate in? Hey, do you want to know something? Went to the shop here in the UK the other day. Found a flavour of M&M that I did not find in Florida. Do you know how many shops I went in? How many Walmarts and Target? I went to M&M World in Disney Springs. They did not have this flavour. And it was down the road here in the UK. It was mud pie something. It was some kind of cake. Mud pie, mud cake. Is that some mud cake M&Ms? I feel like I'm making it up. Oh, here it is. Mocha mud cake. Mocha mud cake. Yeah? Never had this in America. Look, there we go. Can get it here in the UK. Very expensive. It's not this much. Not £6. £9.60. Shut up. Yeah, look, if we go... Oh, we don't want to do that. There, that's it. Look, mocha mud cake. Mocha mud cake. Didn't have that in America. I'm not saying we're better than America. I'm just saying we've got a flavour you don't have. M&M. M&M's. UK. Maybe we've got some others. Do you have chocolate? We've got chocolate. We have got... Oh my God! I've never seen this before. What the flip's this? Crunchy. What's this? Iceland. We don't just sell cookies. Okay. Good for you. Look at this. Crunchy cookie pie M&M's. £4. Exclusive to Iceland. Let's go. Not the country. It looks a bit dry, to be honest with you, but I would eat it. I would give it a go. What else we got? More to share. Crispy. I think you have crispy. Oh, some of these are imported. We don't have a lot that you have. We don't have like pretzel. You have pretzel. We don't have pretzel. What's that one? We don't have that. Toasty vanilla. I've never seen that. That's an American one. We don't have that. Yeah, our other ones are like peanut, chocolate. They're boring. Crispy. But you have some really interesting flavors in America. But we found one down the road that you don't have. So, suck on it. Daze, if you was in Triple H's position, how would you find that happy medium? Would you go back to the WWE archives to get an idea of what worked? No. No, I don't feel like I would need to do that. I think it's just a case of finding that medium, but I think each generation is a little bit different. What worked in the past might not work today. I don't think there is a recipe that worked in the 90s, the 2000s, that you can apply today and get the same results. I think tastes change, and I think that you have to kind of find the current happy medium, and that's going to come with a lot of trial and error, to be honest. So, you know, you can kind of look at it and experiment and play around, whatever, but I also would think, you know, let's not make mountains out of molehills. Let's not panic because of a result that's come in that was okay. I mean, that number of 1.5 is fine. Can it be better? Can we push ourselves to be better? Yes, we can. We can push ourselves to be better, and we can push ourselves to be more. But equally, sometimes you are going to put people on the show that you know is not going to get you the rating, but you need to do it for their development. So you're juggling a few different plates, to be honest. You know, you might be looking at someone that's trying to come back from injury that really does need to get the reps in and needs to have matches. You might be looking at Elia that needs matches. And so you're like, right, we haven't really built him up, but let's get him out there. Let's put him in a match. You're not necessarily doing that because it's going to get you ratings, but you're doing it because the long-term benefit is what you're after. So it's not... I think it's too short-term to be looking at just each week's numbers. That's not the right way to run this company. If you're just focused on this week's numbers and nothing else, that's too short-term. Bigger picture. Go bigger. I've said before, I'm much more interested in looking at how February did compared to the February before, rather than how this week did to the week before. How this week did to this week. A much bigger picture than just this little... How did February do to February last year? How did March do to March last year? Is June going to be up on May? Can we get July up on June? How does July compare to the July before? That is the conversations I'm interested in. Because I just think there's too much stuff that you kind of have to do that might affect a rating here or a segment here or something there. Dialing down into 15-minute segment by segments, that's mental. It might give you an idea of what people are into at the moment. People like this person, they're not so keen on this person, this match worked, that was a good place to put this match. It might give you that, which you can then kind of roll out and apply to the other shows. So it might give you the an idea of what directions go, but I ain't hitting any panic stations until I'm looking at least the months rolling 4-week thing, you know. Here's Tony. Johnny said, what happened to the Sunday streams? We sort of stopped them. Well, we did stop them because of the fact that Unseen took over. So I feel like the stuff we were talking about in Unseen is the stuff we were talking about in those streams. You know, we were talking about the news. Oh, did you see this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. So I just sort of feel like the information that was presented in those streams now get presented in the Unseen videos. So it doesn't really make them necessary anymore. James said, Jimmy Anderson retiring this summer. Do you think we'll struggle without him? Yes and no. I think that he is steady. I think you can turn to him and he might not get you the wickets like he could before, but he still had got the ability to not allow a game to spiral out of control. Now, without Broad, without Anderson, the problem you've got is who's going to be that leader, who's going to not allow other teams to just pull away, and who's going to allow the batting side to not dominate us as a bowling attack, you know. So it's very interesting who is going to fill that void. Because there is a concern there, but actually from getting Wicket's point of view, I think they had sort of dried up, hadn't they? He was not doing very well in the Ashes last year. Charlie Dempsey making his way down, and he is all alone. Obviously, there was hijackings last week, kidnappings. Look at the Riz's shoes. Beautiful, stylish, bright reds. Works with her outfit. That is class. That is class. Finally, someone stepping up their shoe game. And of course it's the Riz. Of course it's the Riz. Even Luca, you've got to admire. I'm not a fan. It's suede again. There's a lot of this kind of soft material around. But they're red. They pop. They work with the group. I can vibe with them. But the Riz has stole it. Just killed it. Tony getting his intro. It's Wokes that needs to step up. And Archer needs to stay fit. Wood. Archer, imagine them two. Whew, mates. It's the right call, innit? We need toy hunts on Thursdays, says Eric. Toy hunts on Thursdays would be fine. We could do toy hunt Thursdays. Maybe that's a better day than a Saturday or a Sunday. Don't know. I think newer figures and Cody, Roman, those kind of figures, that's what kids are looking for. You know, looking at older figures is maybe a bit more for the boomers. Oh, I remember when these were in the shops, you know, that kind of stuff. But kids want the current stars, don't they? So I need to try and find those toy hunts. But we do still have some great toy hunts from shops like that Acme store. Daze, coincidentally, I've tagged you in the year-on-year comparisons. It's a simple image with green and red arrows from WrestleNomics. NXT has got a lot of green, and AEW is in the red. Well, I like that. I like that. That would be one that I would find very interesting year-on-year. Yeah. As I said, when I used to work in retail, we used to look at... obviously, you'd get your day data, which was important, but a lot more focused on week-to-date, month-to-date, year-to-date. Year-to-date's a bit too big, to be honest. That's just like, gives you an idea of how you're doing for the year so far, but I think looking at if you're going in the right direction, you're looking more week and month. So this is why I like one-off shows. I just don't hit the panic button for them. I mean, if even if the rating came in at 1.2, you'd be like, right, what lessons do we need to learn from that? It's not like, oh my god, it's over, it's all crumbling down. It's like, right, we've clearly done something wrong there. We've not promoted this the right way. We've not got the right level of star power. We've not built up the right matches that people want to see. How do we fix that quickly? What lessons do we take from it? But it's not like, oh my god, it's all coming to an end and all this kind of stuff. It's like, look at the data. The answers will be in there. But for me, week and month are definitely the ones that I am interested in. But we don't get that, do we? Everything. I think part of the problem is that that's never reported. You never really get that information. Everyone's like, oh, what do you think AEW is going to do this week? Everyone hangs on just the latest rating, and that's a big focus for people. But you know, if every month the month numbers were to come out and we could see how they did against the month before or the same month the year before, people would then put stock into those numbers. But because they're never reported, people don't ever talk about them. Shoulder tackle, down goes Tony. Charlie goes against the ropes. Over the top goes Tony, looking for a hip toss. Backslide, reversed. Nice little wrestling. Look at this. We got proper wrestling. Oh, Tony. The Don gets the first fall. Wow, I tell you what, he's beaten Charlie really quick there. That is the downside with this, is that, you know, would he be losing a fall that quick in a normal match? No. I don't see Tony beating Charlie that quickly. You could maybe make the argument that Charlie is pushing and trying to find a way of getting a result here, and so it's leaving him a bit vulnerable. You could make that argument, but that's the bit that I'm like, wait a minute. Why are we stopping like a UFC fight, said Johnny? Because as soon as there's a fall, the round ends. Tony did actually wrestling, said Mr. Quake. It's like an Iron Man match with a fall, said Dro. That's true, but you don't tend to get one within the first, like, minute. There's lots of different ways to do these matches, of course, so... But that was clean. I mean, it wasn't even a distraction or anything, you know? It wasn't like Charlie was being distracted by stacks. He just beat him. Which, it's hard to believe that if this was a legit normal match, he would beat him that quick. The bump. When you was in the USA, did you try Albanese candy? The Albanese candy is in Maryville, Indiana. I didn't. I don't know if I even saw Albanese candy. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like. I'll have a look now. Albanese candy. It looks pretty standard, to be honest, like gummy bears and stuff like that, but just made by this company. Looks fine. I'd give it a go. I'd give it a try. Right, we are at commercial break. Oh my god, we've only got 2 minutes left. Where did that go? God, look at us, eh? Daniel said, I farted. Daniel, well done. Congratulations, buds. Hope it was a good one. Big Time said, 1 month into the Sammy title reign, I'm not getting that OMG Sammy benefited so much from ending an historic Gunther reign. No. Chad Gable could have gained more from that, says Big Time. It was a surprise. Didn't expect Sammy to do it at WrestleMania. My concern is that this means they're not going to give him money in the bank now. Uppercut there by Charlie. Big shot coming in there by Tony. Uppercut coming back by Charlie. Shot coming in by Tony. Uppercut there by Charlie. These two getting rocked at the moment. Against the ropes goes Charlie. He collides into Tony. Tony, big boot to the midsection. Another knee to the midsection there by Charlie, looking for double underhooks. There's Willy Wonka signs in the crowd. I'm guessing they're for Charlie. They could be for Trick as well. Picks him up, plants him down. Great work there by Charlie. Tony is planted. Oh, I thought he had subbed, but I thought he had submitted him, but it was the end of the round. So that was the end of round 2. Just as he had that submission in. There's some concern in the corner. Charlie Dempsey doesn't even have a corner, man. So we're seeing the Heritage Cup and Charlie in the corner. So Charlie, Tony, main event in NXT this week. Shows that they really see something in Charlie Dempsey. I mean, it's good. They're giving him this spotlight. Don't know that this match... Well, I suppose it did have a bit of a build, didn't it? He did kidnap 2 of Charlie's friends. Into the corner goes... I hope they're well. Hope they're safe. Hope they're doing all right. Charlie working on the arm. We're into round number 3. We're into the overrun already. Shots coming in here by Tony. Down goes Charlie, and he's managed to get... He's looking for an arm bar. He's desperately trying to get a hold of the arm. Pulling back. No joy. Good defense there by Tony. Oh, I think he might have given it up. Andy's got a bit of a triangle. Oh, he does. It's in. Oh, Charlie's got his shoulders down. Tony picks him up, looking to deliver a powerbomb. Nice, good counter, and he's got a hold of the arm. Charlie, Dempsey. Come on, Charlie. Taught him everything he knows. Will Ava ever wrestle again? I think so. Do you think she's doing her niche to allow the Rock's daughter to have a career? I don't know what that means. I think that she is learning how to wrestle. I just think that she's got a long way to go. I mean, I don't think she had done anything before joining NXT. And so I think they know what she can do, what standard she's at. They watch her all the time, of course. And I think once they feel that they can let her go and let her loose and let her start having matches, then they will. I don't think she'll be a GM forever. I just think that she's so comfortable with talking now. I mean, for her, you know, it's going to be nothing for her to go out there and cut a live promo now, is it? For her to go out there and cut promos and everything, she's just got all this experience. Good work by Charlie. So I think they are really investing in her and working on the things that need to be worked on. So behind the scenes, the wrestling. On camera, the talking. So 1-1, Charlie getting some water. Suplex into a pin. You have to treat each round as its own. Here we go then. Round number 4. Charlie goes colliding into Tony. Working on the arm. Oh! Chops coming in. Working on the arm. Takes Tony down. Charlie stomping away at Tony. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Tony. I was discussing with Mitchell earlier this week about Austin Theory feeling stagnant. Something's off, even with the push. What do you think? I think he's a lot more protected being in the tag team. I think that he's not really shining, or I'm not looking at him go, man, when this team breaks up, he's going to kill it, you know? He's not. He's just sort of being a tag team guy now, do you know? It's sort of like, I feel like he puts 50% in. That's probably the best way to explain it. I feel like he's doing what he needs to do. He's doing what he's being asked to do. He's not rocking the boat or anything like that. He's just, yep, you want me to do that? I'll do that. Fine. But he's not doing anything extra. He's not really pushing himself. He's not trying to stand out. He's not trying different things. I don't feel like he's maximizing this opportunity. I feel like he's just going along with the flow. So they want him in a tag team. Yep, cool. I'll be a tag team guy. Yeah, but you could be trying new moves and you could be like working on some tag team stuff and you could be, you know, coming up with loads of ideas and trying like different ring gear and trying different entrance stuff and you know, little looks or, you know, teasing a few things or anything. But I just feel like he's... You want me to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. You want me to team with this guy? I'll team with this guy. Yeah. So, it's hard to criticize him because he's just fine. He's just there. He's doing a job. But am I sitting here going, oh, man, I can't wait for him to, you know... You know, like how Montez sometimes stands out and you're like, man, can you imagine when Montez is going to go? Or when Julius Creed does something and you're like, I can't wait for Julius Creed to be a solo star. Can't wait for Montez to be a solo star. Yeah, people used to say that about Jey. Can't wait for like Jey to have a little run on his own. But now, I don't know that people are really saying that about Austin Theory at the moment. Belly to belly. I think he's still young. He's a big prospect. Randy was singing his praises the other day, saying he'd made big strides on the mic. Oh, spine buster there by Tony, but Tony goes to the cover. There's only a second left, and that's the end of round 4. WWE AEW fan said round 4 ends with almost a pin. So, Charlie rolling over to the other side. Again, there's no one in there to give him words of encouragement. We've got to be getting a pin or something here because this is round 5. I think we can go 6 rounds, but we've got to be coming to the end of this overrun. There's only 3 minutes left to go. Mr. Quake said, that's just Randy being nice. Theory still needs to get the stench of Vince away from him first. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's the other members of No Quarter Catch Crew. Look at Damon Kemp. He looks like he's had a real rough time of it. Oh, Tony with a big shot. Damon goes down. This match continuing. Shot coming in there by Tony. Down goes Charlie. Tony standing over Charlie. Over the top. To the outside goes Miles Bourne. Roll up by Dempsey into a bridge. 2. Oh, kick out. Big knee there by Charlie. Trying to pick up. Going for the suplex. No joy. Oh, Tony. 2, 3. Tony gets the win. Tony gets the win. We've got a new Heritage Cup Champione. That's right. Look, the Riz is so pleased. Backstage, what's happening now? We've got Wes has been attacked. Oh my God. Josh has been attacked. Ivar's been attacked. Gallus. Gallus. Surprise, surprise. Did you miss us? This is just the start. Gallus attacking backstage. And the show comes to an end. Well, there we go. Another episode of NXT. What did we think about that? I need to go over to the second channel to put the poll up. I'm putting the poll up now for that Heritage Cup match. What did you think about the Heritage Cup match? And can I flip over? Do this. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, I can. Didn't even know I could do that. Didn't know that I could stay on this channel whilst I go to another channel. But I can, and I'm putting the poll up right now. Text poll. Right, do you think the Heritage Cup rules should go to the main roster? I enjoy it. It's the closest thing they'll get to UFC rules, said Mitchell. I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I think it works at the developmental level. I just don't know how it would be received by kids and families. I mean, it's different. 6 rounds. It would be an attraction. It would be different. I feel it's sort of... It's not that long, to be honest. I mean, the longest it can go is like nearly 20 minutes. It's just there's a lot of stop-start, and I think you could take it up. I think you could take it up. I just don't know how it would be received. I don't know how it would be received. I feel like if you're really into your wrestling, you watch NXT and NXT UK. Once you go up to the main roster, it's not so much about the wrestling. It's more about the star power and the stories. Yes, you need wrestling. You will get people complaining if there was only 32 minutes of wrestling this week, right? You will get that. So you do have to have wrestling. Of course you do. And people do want banging matches. But I don't think it sits as comfortably on the main roster. That's the way I'm going to word it. That's the way I'll word it. I don't think it's that you can't do it. I just don't feel that it sits as comfortable. What did you think of NXT this week? 5, 14, 24. Hey, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? I thought it had its moments. Like the young OG. Right, and all time. What did we think? Right, okay, so the poll's up. Lovely. Done. Let's go back over here. Daze, I went to Aurelios Pizza in downtown Homewoods for dinner. Well, I hope you had a lovely time, buds. I hope you had a lovely pizza. Johnny said, Daze, before you go. I'm going now. Bye. Before you go, are you going to live stream? Am I going to... Oh, what? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson? Yeah, I think so, yes. Paul got knocked out. Mike Tyson. Well, I'm going to live stream it, yes. I don't know how the fight's going to go, to be honest, because now they've made it all like a proper fight. Very surprising. I don't know if there was a backlash to the rumors, because there was rumors. You know, they didn't come out and say it was a professional fight. They didn't come out at the start and say it was going to go on their records. So it feels like those negotiations were still happening, or there was a real change. Something's happened, because when they announced the fight, there was a lot of confusion about what is the fight going to be. And then it was well after the fight was announced that we started to get these details. So now it turns out it goes on the records. There can be knockouts. I think it's still like 8 rounds or something, not 12. But it will go on their records. And I don't think Mike Tyson's going to want a loss to Jake Paul on his record. But equally, I don't think he'll be all that bothered if he gets paid big money as well. So I don't think there's anything dodgy that's going to go on here, right? I don't think there's anything dodgy that'll go on. I think the best man will win. I just worry for Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson was always a fierce puncher, but this is a nearly 60-year-old Mike Tyson. And I know people are saying, well, I still don't want to be hit by a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, and I can understand that. But how does a 60-year-old Mike Tyson compare to one of the world's best cruiserweights of today? Punching power wise, I've got to think Mike Tyson's punching power is nowhere near the level of one of the current cruiserweights, because they're young, they're in their 20s, they're training all day. You know, they might not be as great as Mike was in his prime, but I bet they're better than he is now at the age of near 60. So as bad and as deadly as Mike Tyson might be, I don't think he's as powerful as a modern-day cruiserweight, and that's really who Jake should be competing with if he is really dreaming of becoming a world champion, you know? He's got to compete against some of the world's best cruiserweights. I think he knows that he doesn't stand a chance against the best cruiserweights in the world. I think he knows that he doesn't stand a chance, so he's telling you that he wants to be a champion. But in actual fact, he'll go off and fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Or he'll go and fight a Nate Diaz. Or he'll try and get a match with KSI. But or he'll go and fight in MMA. But whilst he's doing these things, he'll be like, yeah, my dream's to be a champ. My dream's to be a world champ. And I will be a world champ. Okay. So how does fighting Mike Tyson help you do that? How does fighting KSI help you do that? How does going into MMA help you do that? Just stop lying to me, Jake. Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? Just stop lying to me. That's all I want. So I will stream it, but I genuinely don't know how it goes, because I feel like I felt pretty good that it was going to be a draw. I felt really confident that there might even have been a little chat where they're like, listen, you don't knock me about, I won't knock you about. We'll have a few moments. We'll have a bit of fun. We'll get through it. We'll both go home. Right? No judges. No knockouts. We'll get through it. We'll get paid. Done. And honestly, I could see that happening. I really could. I felt really good that thing was going to be a draw and it was just going to go the distance. Now, I don't know if there are judges or not, but there must be, if it's official, a proper match, if we get to the end of it, there must be judges. So now if there's going to be a winner, I don't feel as confident anymore that there's that sort of an agreement, unless Mike has agreed to lose by points. Unless Mike said, all right, I'll take the loss, but you're going to pay me extra and it's going to be on points. But I don't want to think that that kind of a conversation has happened, you know. But I don't trust Mike Tyson. I think he'll do whatever for money, right? I don't trust him. And I certainly don't trust Jake Paul. So I'm going to watch it. I'm fully prepared for it to be a sham. I don't think it's going to be the fighting spectacular that people are expecting. I think it's going to be a disgrace to the sport. But we're definitely going to watch it. The world's going to tune in and watch it. And to be honest with you, I really hope it is going to be what people are hoping it's going to be, which is, you know, a really good fight with a knockout, decisive finish. That's what people want. People are tuning in because they either want to see Jake get knocked out, the vast majority, or can Jake knock out Mike Tyson? So people definitely want to see a knockout, but I'm not convinced they will. I'm not convinced they will. But so yes, we will look to stream it. Let's end the poll. I feel like Jake fights aren't that exciting after his loss to Tommy. Jake was winning his fights and people were waiting on someone to beat him. And now that happened, the excitement has gone. He's also had some fights against some, like, no-names, really, you know? I'm not really down on that, though, because he's been facing boxers, and that was always the criticism. Can you beat a boxer? It's just these boxers have not had any kind of name behind them whatsoever. That's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with him taking on some people that don't really have a name. I'm all right with that. As long as he is learning and progressing, then, you know, you can't really criticize him for doing what he probably should be doing. So I'm not too down on that, but I just don't know that he is progressing. I don't know that he is getting further down that road. I'd like to see him take on, like, a ranked fighter now. I'd like to see that, and I'd like to see where are we. He's been doing this a good few years, and he's got some knockout wins, and, you know, he's took on some boxers. So can we find someone that's in the top 30, top 40, that he can, you know, if it's announced Jake Paul against the 39th ranked best cruiserweight in the world, might be quite low down, but okay. Is he that level? I don't know where he is. I certainly don't think he's top 20, but is he good enough to face top 40, top 50, top 60, top 100? I don't know. But that's what I would like to see for him, is him take on someone that's, you know, let us know, where's this person ranked? Are they 79th? Okay, he beats them. How can he do against number 65? So they might not have a name, but let's focus on the number, and let's try and work our way up the rankings and see how high we can get. So that's what I would like to see. But you know, I mean, look, an opportunity's come along in it to make a shed ton of money against a fighter which has got a big name, and, you know, you could imagine people tuning in for. So I'm not down on him taking the fight, but I don't have high hopes for it. Let's put it that way. We'll get an idea of how Raw on Netflix live feed will function with the Jake Paul Tyson Fury fight, said Big Time. I hope Tyson beats Jake, said Carmen. Mike Tyson is a good boxer. He had a funny show be called The Mike Tyson Mysteries. He'll join Logan in WWE within the next 3 years. That's my prediction, said Wolfranian Grids. Tiffany Stratton got a lot of backlash for sharing a video of her punching Jade Cargill at the corner of the ring with a female voice saying a racial slur, and she deleted it. Really? Didn't see that. Daze, what are you expecting from the Howdy announcement? Just a video, to be honest. Just a video and something that really confirms they're coming on King and Queen of the Ring. I think maybe even a segment where we see a shadowy figure and we hear from Howdy, or do you know what I mean? Just something like that. I'm not expecting them to be revealed, but I think it feels like there's a message that needs to be delivered, and I'm wondering if Howdy will deliver that. You know, we're going to a Twitch channel, so I don't expect it. Hey guys. Hey guys, Uncle Howdy here. I hope you're well. Brian, thanks for the super chat there. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I just got a message for you all. I know we've been doing the spooky QR codes and everything, but and we will keep doing those. But I did want to just get King and Queen of the Ring, right? We are gonna debut. Okay, I just wanted to get this message out there. John, thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, we are going to debut. Lots of rumors about who's in the group. I can't really say, right? Can't really say. Maybe one of the name rhymes with Icky, right? I can't say. But, yeah, we are going to be at King and Queen of the Ring. Make sure that you tune in for that. I'll have a few more QR codes for you. Yeah, we will, yeah, John, we will open it up to questions in a second. And, yeah, I think you're going to really enjoy it. We've really put a lot of work in. I think you're really going to enjoy what we've got coming up. So, yeah, we're going to open it up to the floor, and we'll see what questions there are. We'll do a bit of a Q&A for the next 10 minutes or so. But I thought this was just a more personal way to deliver the message. Who doesn't want to see that? With, like, you know, like how everyone's got, like, their bedroom in the background with, like, a neon sign. Maybe he's got, like, the Bray logo in, like, neon on the wall in the background. That would be so good. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us here today. A bit random, but we're actually gonna play Cyberpunk. So I'm gonna sit here, we're gonna play through Cyberpunk. I've actually got a game file all set up, right? Halfway through the game at the moment. Quite need a bit of help on this actually, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, we've got to try and unlock this area here. So I just wanted to play this and just have a little bit of a chat to let you know we are going to be at King and Queen of the Ring. Here we go. So if any of you out there do play Cyberpunk, give us some tips on this, because I cannot make this jump. It's a real problem. Sally, shout out to you. I'm glad you like the QR codes. I would do that. That's what I would, but it isn't. It would be awful. But that's what I'm hoping for on Thursday. Joe Gacy is a good man, said Wolfrian. Can't wait for him with Howdy. Hope the group does well when they do appear. Leaping Larry said, I knew it. Daze is Uncle Howdy. What a horrific reveal that would be. Imagine that. Taking it off. Hey, guys. Bye for now. Awful. I was replaying GTA 5 story modes. I love that soundtrack. Do you know, I've never really got into any GTA. None of them. The one that I really tried to get into was Vice City, and I love the soundtrack, but I just can't be bothered to do the missions. It feels like work. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, get over to the city. I need to pick up some money. I'm like, oh, I can't bother. Why do I want to do that? Do you know what I mean? I feel like this is... I feel like I have to do errands in my real life. Now I've got to go over, try and get a car and drive over to this. Oh, I just don't need it. I'm going to watch a film. I just can't do it. I want to do it. I want to be motivated to take over the city. But, do you know what I mean? And I think that's my problem, really. You know? I want to be motivated, but sometimes you're just like, I can't be bothered. So, Vice City, I never get that far in it. Daze, that's criminal. I know. And I'll probably end up buying GTA 6, and I'll be exactly the same. And be like, hey, we got to break out of prison. Help us saw through these bars. And I'll be like, okay, XXXXXXXXXXXXXXX. There's the sawing like that. And I'll be like, I'm bored. Bored now. And I'm like, I don't want to saw anymore. How about we have a nap? And then we try again in the morning. And I'll do that instead. And the other thing as well is sometimes if I'm on a mission and I'm just driving around, I don't go to the mission, I'm just driving. I'm just having a little drive around, like, I wonder where this goes, and then I'll go down this road. Before you know it, you've spent 20 minutes just driving. Do you know what I mean? Having a little look around. And you know that GTA 6 is going to be like that. You know you're going to be like driving around in GTA 6 and it's all going to be super scenic. And it's going to be amazing. The graphics going to look great. There might be a hot girl walking by, and you might, you know what I mean, I'll go back there, reverse, and like you got all that going on. I can't be doing all that and missions. Do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, you got to go to bed, and you're like, oh, I never replied to Big Tony. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare tomorrow. I've got to do that. Then I've got to do this. It's like a whole nother chore list. Don't need it. Don't need it. I'd rather watch someone just do it, speedrun it. The yoga mission in GTA 5 is horrific. An Uncle Howdy ASMR. Okay. Can you sense that? We're coming at King and Queen of the Ring. Tingles, 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 tingles. Yeah, man. I'd subscribe, to be honest. I'd subscribe. I think that'd very quickly become my favourite channel. GTS I've never played before. Right, look, I need to go because I need to do Unseens. We've got to do an Unseen tonight. I will not be denied tonight, right? Uncle Howdy and his ASMR can do one. We've got to focus. We need to get Unseen done. So, appreciate the support as always. Thanks a lot for joining us. Big Time said GTA 4, the final mission is you got two options. Your girlfriend dies or your cousin dies. Oh, it's fine. Can't sleep with your cousin. Easy. Yeah, appreciate the support. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.